and bienvenue, welcome, come on in.
Aye, aye. So, this week was amusing. Junkies got £800,000 for being forced to go cold turkey while in prison. The one place where you're guaranteed to have a steady supply of drugs 24 hours a day. They say cold turkey, we say... The newspapers in Iran... Did you read this? The newspapers in Iran are urging an all-out war to wipe Israel off the map. It's not, the newspapers, generally available newspapers in Iran, want the president to hesitate not a moment longer. Off you go, mate, they said. Their president's test firing missiles that can hit Israel and the US military bases, and pretty soon they'll have nuclear bombs and they'll lend them to their good friends in Al-Qaeda, and then we can cancel all future appointments. Oh no. Michael Jackson shows up with a choir of children.
Warning, warning.
Sings 3 lines to fans who paid £100 each to see him. £100 each?
What?
Do you ever feel like you've been duped? And Prince Charles. Has the music finished already? We'll have to loop it, Lucy.
Would you like a nice long, 5 minutes?
Well, yeah, Alex could do that. You're a genius. You could loop it, couldn't you?
Yeah, and play it again as well if you want.
Nah. Prince Charles said that he wants to go green. I wonder if I've got this, the actual story. Did you read about what Charlie said this week?
No, I haven't, actually.
Yeah, he wants to join the Green Revolution. Of course, he has been spouting green things for a dog's age, right?
Yep.
He said he wants to have his staff ride bicycles, recycle, switch off the lights, that sort of thing.
Well, that's very sensible.
Yeah, at least I think that's what he said, as he blasted by in his Aston Martin on his way to his private jet to take him to one of his 15 houses that are constantly heated, lit and maintained for him. Still, he's doing his bit to protect the environment. Hey, I saw Borat this week.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did.
What did you think?
I think I got in for £3. That's what I think.
Did you? That's a bit of a bargain.
Mm-hmm.
And did it ruin it slightly that you had read the articles last week about it?
No. Oh. Well, only for one little bit, where the bit with the guy with no hand. They had him put a rubber sex toy on the end of his hand, which was in the form of a hand.
Oh, right, okay. What, a sort of buzzing hand?
Not really loose, no. It was more of a sort of...
Oh, right, yeah, sorry, okay, yeah, sorry. A little bit slow there, a little bit slow.
So, that bit did make me laugh, but I did feel sorry for him at the same time.
Yeah.
Because the poor man was taken advantage of, as were everyone who appeared in that film, pretty much, and they're all going to sue him. I think there's 3 lawsuits against him now, and they seem to be increasing every day. There's the dopes who were in the mobile home. They haven't got a chance. Not a chance to succeed in their little scheme, because all the court will have to do is just play the video, and then they'll just get laughed out. Who else? I think the rodeo people, they were... Have you guys seen it yet?
I'm the only one that's missing out so far.
I went today.
You today? Oh, yeah,
right. It was a little bit tainted at the start, but it was thinking about, well, these people only got £3 for this. But it was just too funny. I couldn't help myself. I got pretty happy about it.
I had to stop. I had to remember to relax my face in between laugh out loud moments.
Really?
Because I was getting face ache, yeah. I had to, deliberately relax my jaw because I knew that if I kept on like this, I'd need medical attention by the end of the film. But fortunately, it only lasts for about, half an hour?
Yeah.
It doesn't last very long at all.
It's not long.
I think it's just slightly over an hour. Basically, it's a TV programme that they've spent slightly more on.
I think that's quite a good length, though, isn't it?
Well, it was sufficient, yeah. I mean, I didn't feel cheated at all. It was definitely worth £3.
How did you manage to get it for £3?
Oh, there's some wicked scheme that my mobile phone provider
Oh, really?
I tell you what, I'm getting my money's worth from my mobile phone provider. I got 2 phones, 2 state-of-the-art, they're phones that are so thin that you can't see them when you turn them on one side. I got those free. They cost about, I don't know, what does a phone cost? 400 quid? 500 pounds?
Well, they always say that, but everyone seems to get them on a contract.
Yeah.
Now, I reckon phones are only really worth about 20p.
No. Because they do everything. I mean, there's more computing power in your mobile phone than they took to the moon. That's an actual fact.
Really?
No, I just made up.
It's probably true.
I don't think so.
So I got 2 phones free, and I got free line rental for a year on a 12-month contract, and half-price cinema seats on a Wednesday. Beat that.
That's very good.
Incredible.
I keep getting phone calls about this all the time from someone who tells me I've won a phone, and all I have to do is give some details. And every time I say, right, so I've just won a phone, and they say, yeah, we're just going to send it to you. I say, well, that's fine then, I'll give you my address. And they say, yeah, but we still need your bank details.
Give them your address?
What?
Didn't you do that before?
Well,
with
no, I've
some
never
charity?
bought into this, obviously, because as it turns out, they say, the thing is, this isn't a contract, we just need you to sign a piece of paper. And I said, well, surely that I am signing into a contract. No, we don't like to think of it as a contract. Of course it's a contract.
We like to think of it as stealing.
Yeah. So it's a con. So I'm not buying, well, I'm not having these silly free phones.
There's so many
Can't be
cons
free.
around at the moment, it's really hard to keep up with them. I get about, without a word of a lie, 60 or 70 emails a day. And almost, I'd say 50% of them are for Cialis soft tabs, whatever they are.
Soft tabs?
Yeah, Cialis soft tabs.
Right.
It is so hard.
If that's the problem, then you want Cialis soft tabs, apparently.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Ah. Okay. Why are you getting these emails? I don't get these emails.
So if it's not for that, then it's for Barclays customers. We need you to re-log on your details and give us your password again. And if it's not Barclays, it's Alliance and Leicester, or any other myriad of financial organisations that I don't do business with. They're just phishing, right? With a PH. I believe that's how they say it in computer specky nerd circles. Isn't that what that is? Phishing? But now these are easy to ignore because the typeface is obviously been written on a computer made by Fisher-Price. I mean, they just look so cheap. And but the latest one that they almost got me with is for eBay.
Oh, really?
They said, this person that you've promised hasn't received their goods yet. Can you please log on? And it looked just perfectly correct eBay font.
Yeah.
And so I almost did, because a couple of...
Gosh, that's a new one, isn't it?
They'll give you all sorts of links on the page to other eBay things,
Right.
home, and they all go straight to eBay, because, you do a few cursory checks just to make sure.
Yeah.
And other things just go straight to actual eBay, except for the one, which I didn't click, which was the one that they wanted you to click, to just, investigate this problem.
Just confirm your bank details.
Or confirm your log-on, whatever it is. And it just has become... Because there used to be, you have won. All you need, they would come through the door in an envelope with a window. With
How
lots
did
of
you
things
check?
inside.
Did you actually contact eBay separately?
No, I just ignored it.
But do you not think you should have done to
Why?
alert them?
I haven't... Oh, well...
Well, this sounds like a new one to me.
Yeah, well, it was new to me, yeah.
Yeah. There's been the one through the post as well, with the post office. Have you seen that one?
Well, what I was going to say is it used to be fairly simple. It used to come through the door, a little envelope with windows with lots of things inside that says, you have already won. All you have to do is put a yes sticker on this envelope and a no sticker on that envelope, and here's a key, and you want to put it in the first envelope, and then fill this form out and put it in the third envelope, and then connect the third envelope to the first envelope, and then throw them all in the bin, because you'll never win anything with these things.
At least it was fun that way.
Yeah,
Something
kind
physical
of.
to
Yeah,
play
it
with.
was. Yeah, yeah. Like you did it once, and then you were bothered by them forever.
Yeah.
Forever. And they'd constantly be sending you things. There's only one more hurdle to get over. All you need to do to win
You're already a top prize winner.
Yes, is to just return this envelope, which seems remarkably similar to the last envelope that you returned.
Yeah.
You didn't get any damn
I've
money.
done that one. I did the one where you could win, X thousands of pounds, a car, and then the holiday, and I won the holiday after ringing the premium line number. But the holiday was just so rubbish, and it was only for me, and it only literally got me there and got me back, and it was just awful.
But you rang.
I was a lot younger. I just thought I'd give one a go because I was a top prize winner. So I thought, well, it's worth me losing £5 because the minimum I could win was at least, 400.
You'll never be a top prize winner, and neither will I. The only thing I've ever won is a Rolling Stones live album, which sucked.
Oh, did it?
Yes.
Because that sounds like it could be quite good.
A Rolling Stones live album.
Yeah.
That sounds like it could be good to you.
Yeah.
Right. A Rolling Stones fan, are you?
I like the Rolling Stones, yeah.
You do?
Rock and roll!
No, it wasn't. It was awful. And I keep buying these, I spent £1.50 on a Euro Millions ticket.
Oh, for the big one.
Of course. I spent
Yeah.
£1.50 in order to win £120 million, which I thought was a good investment. Come Friday evening, I didn't win £120 million, Lucy.
And that's why you're here.
So my question is, I spent £1.50, right?
Yeah.
Follow me here.
Okay.
I didn't win the 200 million last Friday. What happens now?
Does your mobile... Nick Abbott.
Well, let's get back to it.
Hey, Ricky. Hey, Ricky.
Hello.
Ricky is drowning.
Hello?
Yes, Ricky.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, scams.
Scams.
Have you had the one from eGold saying that your account has had some dubious dealings?
E-Gold?
Yeah,
What's
on the
it?
internet.
What's E-Gold?
Allegedly, it's an internet banking system.
I've never even heard of it.
Well, I had that come up several times. I don't do any online banking at all, ever. But this came up several times, and I investigated it, and it turns out it's a scam. They wanted me to send various details on that, and I had another one saying that UPS had a parcel for me, and to ring this number. It was all total rubbish.
Right.
And, sorry,
Okay.
can you hear me all right?
Well, it sounds like you're deep-sea diving, Ricky. Are you underwater right now?
Hang on. Sound any better?
But, yeah, just say no. Just say no. Practice it with me now.
No.
There you go. Okay, well, thanks for the bad news, Ricky.
Yeah, cheers then.
Ta-da. But you know what? And they're trying and they're trying and they're trying because people are responding. They must be making a fortune, these people, because they must have a system of sending out millions of emails. And for 1 million sent out, even if you get 10 back, I
Yeah.
mean, that's the result, right?
But you do tap in your email on so many sites now, don't you? Even, put your email here, confirm your email address, even, for anything these days, so...
I'm getting kind of irritated with it, because if you don't collect your email every day, for instance, if you went on holiday for 2 weeks, I'd come back and I'd have
A full inbox.
thousands of these things to get through. It'd take me all morning just to try and filter them out.
The trouble is, a lot of them are quite tempting, I think, when I give my details. So even though afterwards they're annoying, when I was looking on an airport site the other day, they then had they said, oh, shall we send you all the offers? And I thought, oh yeah, I'd quite fancy that, going abroad, getting it cheaply.
An airport site?
Well, airlines. But I thought I wouldn't mention the airline specifically.
Oh, was it BA? Was it Virgin? BMI?
You may have mentioned
BA
it.
Baby? Was it BA Baby?
No. It was the first one.
I'll forget which one that was now.
BA.
Oh, bah.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
Okay. Don't be an ass loose, just say no. Here is Putney, Marie.
Hi, Nick.
Marie.
I just wanted to say thank you to you for recommending Casino Royale. It was fantastic. I went to see it today, completely full cinema, and I went in the afternoon. I went at 4:30, and it was packed out.
Were people irritating?
No, on the whole, they were all right. It was a bit irritating because they were a bit squashed.
Yeah.
From all, you're used to being normally able to sort of spread yourself out a little bit, but it was a bit squashed in there, but it was very hot. But otherwise, no, people weren't irritating. They weren't constantly fiddling with their mobile phones, or that smell of popcorn is a little bit irritating.
It is.
I don't like popcorn at all, to be
No,
honest.
it's like... But unfortunately, stale popcorn is like feet.
It's horrible.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I don't like it anyway, so I guess that's part of it. The smell is not that pleasant, but to be honest, the movie's so good that you find it difficult to be distracted.
Yeah.
So
It does go on a bit, doesn't it?
No, I didn't notice it at all, but then I am absolutely captivated by Daniel Craig. I wasn't one of those people who had to be convinced or had to go on first person. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely right, Nick, yeah. Panting, yeah, tongue out. Yeah, he is absolutely fantastic. I think he's brilliant, and I thought he was brilliant in the movie.
But speaking as a woman,
really
you want him for his mind, right? This is not a sexual thing with you.
No.
No, of
he's
course
slightly
not.
psycho look as well.
Yeah, it's on a higher plane.
He's brilliant blue eyes, yeah, and I'm sure he's got a brilliant mind as well. Yeah, but I really enjoyed the film as well.
Yes.
I think that's the important thing. I think it cracked along at a really good pace, and there was all the things that I would expect from a Bond movie, because I like Bond movies anyway. So I would say to everybody out there, even if they don't like Daniel Craig or don't know if they like Daniel Craig, go and see it, 'cause it's a really good Bond film.
I don't think anyone needs persuading. I think the entire country is queuing as one.
That's good then.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
All right, well, go and see Borat for me. That's your
I don't
homework.
really fancy that, Nick.
Well, see, now you didn't really fancy Bond, did you?
I did.
Are you lying to me?
No, I was always going to go and see the Bond movie, whether it had been Daniel Craig or somebody else. Cause I
Now,
really
you
like
see, I
Bond
don't think
movies.
that this doesn't fit with the reason that you called, because you called and said thank you for saying going to Bond, which implied, Marie, that you weren't going to go unless you'd heard my recommendation.
I'm sorry if it came across like that, Nick, and I'm sorry if you in any way feel that I may have duped you, but no, indeed not. That's not the case. I would have gone anyway, but the fact that it was Daniel Craig was an extra big let's rush there as soon as it comes out.
Yeah.
And all my friends at work who are going to see it this weekend and saying rude things about him, saying he's got some wrinkles and things like that.
Wrinkles.
I'm hoping that on Monday they're eating their words.
Yes, undoubtedly, yeah. They'll be gnawing their fist off. They'll be so excited.
Well, I hope so.
Thing is, with him, is he looks like he's been punched a lot.
Yeah, which is good.
Which is what you'd expect from some like an army type, which is what he's supposed to be.
Exactly. He shouldn't look too perfect. That's the point.
I'll tell you what,
I've got
Marie.
my photo on the board next to me at work, and I just keep pointing at it a couple of times a day just to remind them.
With what?
With my finger.
Your finger,
Or I kiss
right.
the photo quite often. I just kiss it.
Bet you do, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Marie.
Bye, Nick.
Pucker up. She's so excited she doesn't know whether to scream or eat a banana, Lucy.
I don't get the whole kissing poster thing. Or picture. Have you ever kissed a poster?
No. That would be a foolish thing to do.
I don't mean as an adult.
I'll tell you what, though, he is the best James Bond ever. And I was saying last week that this is not just me who said that. I've read other people, I'll say it first, naturally. I get tired of being so right all the time. And then other people will trail in my wake, even if they haven't heard my show. They'll be repeating things that what I said. And, I've read that quite a few times, that he is the best Bond ever. And I was saying that Pierce Brosnan, who was either looked over for the new film I decided not to do it. I don't know which, whether it's been established. Okay, well, we'll say that. If I had been Pierce Brosnan, like everybody else in the show business, if somebody takes over your gig, you want them to fail, even if it's your mother. You want them to fail. You want them to burst into flames and explode while they're doing it, right? Because it's show business. It's like no business I know. But not only Pierce Brosnan would have been irritated, now Sean Connery must be spitting up his porridge. Because his reputation as the definitive Bond has been cemented for the past 40 years. But now people are saying... And he thought that no one would ever touch that, right?
Do you think he thought
Absolutely. Well, yes, there's no question that he thought that, but then so did the world. No one thought that there was a possibility that anyone could do Bond better, because Bond was Sean Connery, right?
Yeah.
But people are saying, you know what? That's not true anymore. The new bloke is actually James Bond, and all the others are casual, feckless lounge lizards.
Yeah, I don't think he'd mind, though, Sean, because he's done so many other things as well, that's only one aspect of his career, isn't it?
I think he'd mind.
Do you?
I think he'd blow his sporran.
Is that just because you would mind if it was you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he's in show business. He ain't no different to anybody else. What is in show business?
But it was many moons ago now.
Yeah.
So there's been enough bonds in between. So I think maybe, for his era, he can still say, I was the best.
But he can't. That's my whole point. Are you listening to this show?
Yeah, but he, right up until now, he has been.
Exactly. That's my precise point.
But he still will always have that. It wasn't until 2006 that somebody else became the best.
I don't think you understand men or show business at all. We're very shallow, Lucy.
Well, it's just that some people are very competitive.
Yeah.
I don't have that competitive streak in me.
No, that's because you're smart enough to have chosen to be a woman. See, us blokes like Alex and myself, we're very superficial, very aggressive, and it's just me, me, me. We make me sick, Alex.
I make me absolutely sick.
Oh dear.
Here is Chesterfield. Hello, Michael.
Hi, Nick. How you doing?
I'm all right.
I just want to slightly agree and disagree with you about James Bond. The best one is going to be the next one, obviously. The best ever James Bond.
Why?
There's always going to be a better one, isn't there, going along? I would have thought. Kind of. If you like.
You're making
no
precious
sense whatsoever.
little sense so far. Let's see how the rest of it goes.
Anyway, going back to your point about, the multiple thingamajig winning, sending back your envelopes in different envelopes with keys and stickers or what have you.
Yes.
I actually did meet a guy who won £33,000 on that. I'm going back about 10 or 15 years now, and he was genuine. He actually did win it.
One of these Reader's Digest things?
Yes, definitely. Without mentioning the name.
What, Reader's Digest?
That's the one. £33,000. A local guy he was. Nice, getting ready for retirement, actually, so he came at the right time in life.
Well, I'll go to the foot of our stairs.
I did as well when I heard it, at the time.
Well, you went to the foot of my stairs?
Yours as well. Briefly, what do you think to the last ever episode of The Sopranos until it's shown again?
It wasn't the last ever episode.
It wasn't, was it?
No, there's another series coming next year.
Not another series. Apparently, the way I read it was like only half of the last series just been shown, and the other half is going to be maybe, I don't know, how many episodes do you think?
I think it's 11. They're coming back for...
11 more?
I believe so. Yeah, because they just did 11, didn't they?
Yeah, near enough.
Or is it 6? Anyway, it's like... Because a series in America lasts half a year. Unlike in this country, where a series lasts 6 weeks. Because they farm writing out. Whereas, as I've said before, writing in this country is some poor bloke in his squalid bedsit trying to avoid the rain dripping through his roof, clacking away on his typewriter. In America, they have great teams of people in serried ranks in offices, all, busting a gut, pounding at their word processors, which means that they can get a series to run for half the year, i.e. 24 weeks, minus the little bit for Christmas. Which is why they came up with 24, because they thought, what can we do with a 24-week episode? Ding! Oh, I know, there's 24 hours in the day, we'll just do that, right? So that's how they came up with that, undoubtedly. So I don't think it's going to be the full 24 episodes. I think that they were going to do half, because there was some sort of contractual obligations, and they wanted $100 billion in order to do it. And the network said no, and they said but eventually they came to some sort of compromise, and everyone dies in the end. Or not, as the case may be.
You're spoilt it for everyone.
But there's something to look forward to, eh, Michael?
It is just.
All right.
All the best now.
Okay.
Cheers now.
Hold your breath. Underwater. You'll need to when your feet are in concrete.
Absolutely.
So,
what's going on?
What's going on? Hey, Lucy.
What, generally?
Yeah.
I had a spare bed delivered today for the spare bedroom, and we've nearly finished stripping the walls downstairs.
You had a spare bed delivered for the spare bedroom?
That's
Is that
right.
where you're going to keep the spare bed?
Well, there is
The
actually
clues-
a spare bed in the spare bed.
The clue's in the name.
Yeah, we scored!
Hey, Rob, Robert from the Rhondda.
Ah, good evening. Hey, I got a gift today.
A gift?
Talking about my name there. Somebody's given me a number plate saying RFTR1. It's been on my door.
Oh, it's not an actual number plate.
Well, that has been suggested that when I have enough money that I'll actually get it as a number plate. That's my nickname as well as, you know, my call number. People call me RFTR. Most people don't even know what my real name is.
There's a road that goes down the river in poshest Chelsea. I think it's Chain Walk. And there's a feller, I'd like to know who it is, who's got a corner house there. Now, if I had £5 million, or however much it costs, I would not buy a corner house there because of the constant roar of traffic between you and the river, right? But, you know, some people are like that. They love the sound of cars going by their house all day and all night. You know, if you were a trillionaire, you could afford to buy peace. But that's not what he's chosen. He's got a car, a double garage, which must cost £1 million as it is in that area. But there's no doors on the garage, so you can see his cars parked. And I think it's a Bentley on one side and an Aston Martin on the other. And the number plates are I think on the Aston it's 2B, and on the Bentley not 2B. Who's that then? I wonder.
Too much money. Anyway.
Actor.
Various things I want to bring up.
Yes.
So I have a list. First thing is Glyn from Big Brother.
Glyn, yeah.
You get a sound effect. He has become a Welsh children's TV presenter.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Glyn has become, what, this bloke?
Oh, no. Him. He is tuned on to Brightest S4C the other day, by accident, of course.
Oh, the Welsh Channel 4?
The Welsh Channel 4.
Is that still going?
Yes. Subsidised very well by the BBC.
And does it have any listeners yet? Viewers.
Declining rapidly.
Well, because...
digital. And people can switch over to Channel 4 proper now, so, you know, why watch S4C?
You know, in a brief period that I did broadcast directly to Wales, from Wales, I did ask this question of Welsh people. Well, you're Welsh, I'll ask you.
Oh.
Well, I've asked you, I know what your opinion is. It's because they've got two dedicated Welsh channels, don't they? One's from Channel 4 and the other's the BBC, is that right?
No, they kind of all work together as S4C.
Right.
So in 82, when everyone got Channel 4, the government, in their wisdom, decided Wales could go their own separate way and have, instead of having an English Channel 4, they'd have a Welsh Channel 4.
Right.
Which is what S4C stands for.
Which no one watches. Because when I was there, all it is was... It looked like a programme from the 1970s. It was grey men in grey suits sitting around a grey table in a grey studio talking Welsh at each other.
It was like a Welsh question time on, I don't know if you remember what night it was, do you?
Yes, wasn't it the night that they found out who won Big Brother or something like that?
I think it was the first or second season of Big Brother. So everyone was... This is when it was huge and bigger than probably was.
Yeah, 60 million people were tuning in, apart from the people in Wales who got the programme late,
later,
but not live. Yeah, because they were having an intense discussion about
farming,
something like that. Yeah,
shocking. Of course, there was a because S4C was 20 a couple of years ago anyway, and they had a poll of what's the best programme of all time on S4C. I come back as some farming show. Every week this man goes around to different farms and talks to farmers.
Oh, great.
Here we go. The best thing on. Of course, Channel 4. Terrible. But at least we're all paying. So.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Right.
S4C, thanks for all the money. Twinned with Mayor of London.
No comment. Have you been watching This Life?
No, what's that?
This Life. Well... You have seen it before, because you had a tape the other day slagging it off, but it's that 90s drama where they're all having sex and taking drugs and lawyers in a big firm, and it's on BBC Two.
Oh,
It should ring a bell.
Wasn't there an homosexual motorbike rider?
Yes.
Yes. No, I didn't watch that, no.
Bisexual.
Oh, well.
Is there a difference?
I'm glad you set me straight.
Yeah, so that's back on. There's a Christmas special.
Oh, no.
They're repeating double episodes every night on BBC at 2 after Newsnight. It's really good.
Yeah, right.
What do you mean, yeah, right? It is.
It stank the first time. Nobody wants to watch that, surely.
I think it's getting. What's the red saying on the Guardian today? It's getting as many viewers as some program on Channel 4, a drama first. Sort of gold-plated something on Channel 4.
You read it in the Guardian?
Boring!
Media Guardian, online, darling.
Right, yeah, I read that too, yeah.
It's one of the only websites I look at.
Yes,
Yeah.
sure it is.
Catch that. Next thing. I went to the theatre last night.
The theatre?
The theatre, to watch The History Boys, the production, for the film.
You were, so you went to see the film The History Boys twice. Now you've gone to see the production of The History Boys.
Are you very sure you're not homosexual?
No comment. No. Yes. Hold on. How do you remember these things? Well, you had a terrible memory.
Some things stick, because I don't know why, they just do. It's like, if you ask me what the actual length of the longest Led Zeppelin track on Physical Graffiti is, I think I could tell you to the second. How weird's that? I haven't looked at that since it came out on vinyl. I mean, that's just crazy that I would remember something like that, isn't it? 11 minutes, 8 seconds. That's what's coming to mind.
Someone check.
Yeah, someone will, yeah. Yeah, well, of course, you were completely wrong there.
8 seconds. Yeah, well, I preferred the film. But anyway, after this, I thought, in a cultural evening, after seeing this production, which was, okay, I went to see a film. I saw James Bond on Thursday, very good, although I missed the beginning, which was apparently the best part of the film.
You missed the beginning? It is the best part of the film.
Well, it's my friend's birthday on Thursday, and he's a big Bond fan, so we all went. So I was waiting outside the cinema for him, and he was late. So he walked in as the opening sequence was on, so there we are. I'm going to watch it again.
You did say him run in, jump in, leap in, though, didn't you? I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
Yes.
Anybody that's avoided knowing what happens to this point.
If anybody's seen the trailer, they've practically seen the film as well.
Yeah, I never watch trailers.
Yeah.
In fact, when I'm in a cinema, if I've made the mistake of arriving too soon, I do look like I've lost my mind, because I will actually have my fingers in my ears. I'll be humming loudly to myself, because if you can make enough noise in your head, you can drown out Dolby Digital surround sound. And I'll be staring at the floor. I'll be going, and if you waggle your fingers around in your ears, you create even more noise in your head, so it blots it all out.
Is that how you get like 10 seats either side of you free?
Because I hate that they show you what happens in the film. They'll show you the last scene. I guarantee that if you saw the trailer to Thelma and Louise. I'm trying to think of a film where the very last scene is the important bit. Or
Titanic.
Or the Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. They'd show you Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid getting shot as they burst out of that place in Mexico. They'd show you Thelma and Louise going over the cliff. They'd show you Titanic sinking. You fool. Everybody knew that what was going to happen there beforehand. It doesn't apply.
Oh.
But,
I didn't know.
Yeah, they do that. They pluck the most exciting bits, which are supposed to be surprises. Like, the Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator 2, for instance. Everybody knew before they went into that film that this time Arnie was the good robot. But the film was shot so that you didn't know. When you weren't supposed to know. The director of these films doesn't come up with all these surprises and then thinks, well, I'll just film them anyway, even though everyone will know it before they see it. It's like telling somebody a joke before the comedian actually comes on stage. It's like giving, in a comedy audience, giving everyone the printed readout of the jokes to read before the comedian actually tells them. It's ridiculous why they do that. So I never watch them, ever, and I don't read reviews, because they always tell you what happens. So I just go completely blind. You have to.
Well, Jonathan Ross said that he filmed 2000, whatever he's using, special on Monday. They'll practically give away the film as well.
Yes, it will. Yeah, they'll show you all of the good bits.
There's only one film reviewer I ever listened to or watched, and that's Mark Kermode, because he's very funny. Good.
Mark Kermode.
Kermode.
Is he the guy with the 50s throwback hair? Yeah. Hey, you know, speaking of 50s throwback hair and bouffants and quiffs and all that, I think I can watch that. Never mind the Buzzcocks now, because that bloke's not doing it anymore.
Well, he had his hair shaven off. Oh, he wasn't his hair. They worried you. It was him. Yes, he's gone.
Who's that guy?
Is it Mark?
Lamar.
Mark Lamar, yeah. He's not doing that anymore. I had no idea. They've got that little
kid,
flighty guy.
Who?
He looks like a Q-tip. He's got this sort of wiry hair on top of a body that's about as wide as a match. But he's amusing, is the key, and he's not,
Oh, I know who you
kind
mean.
of
Yes, I know who you
irritating
mean.
and,
Dark,
aggressive.
dark hair.
Yeah, he used to do that Channel 4 thing during the day.
Yeah.
So I might watch that now.
Yeah, enjoy that. Anyway, back to the story.
There's a story?
Yes. So I didn't see Bond, because I went to the cinema after the theatre.
Yes.
And the only other thing showing at, whatever it was, 12:30...
Borat.
Was Borat.
Yes, and?
Well, you had a woman call in last week who said it was, nasty, vindictive, vile, spiteful.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
All of those things. Hilarious.
I think I agree with her.
Oh, you didn't find it funny?
I found elements of it. I know they're trying to push the boundaries of humour, but some of the things he was saying was just like, oh, you know, I can't handle it. It's wrong.
Oh, come on, Rob, loosen up.
Oh, I was, and these poor people. I hope to God he goes bankrupt. Some of these people. I mean, the two. I mean, I don't think you'd miss anything if I said where it was. The two Jewish guest owners.
Yes.
Poor people.
Oh.
Oh, there we are.
Oh, you've got to push your shoulders down, Rob, and...
you know me, I'm a relaxed person.
Yeah, right.
But,
wound up like an alarm clock.
I'm not.
I'm going to send you some decaffeinated coffee in the post, all right?
You do that.
Just loosen up, Rob.
I will do. I'll smoke something. A cigarette.
Cigarette, that would do, yeah.
Yes. Right, anyway.
It's good
wild.
for you. It'll make you a man,
Yeah,
all right?
I read somewhere.
And that's the message from LBC. Smoking will make you more masculine.
I'll sue LBC.
All kids should pay attention to that advice, all right?
Doodle pips, then.
Ta-ta. It's an undeniable message from the government. That's the message that they're sending out. Actually, they're sending out the message that you shouldn't eat crisps. Gary Lineker's going to be furious, because there goes 90% of his income. You won't be able to advertise crisps anymore. Did you see this?
Yep.
Rules to cut children's exposure to junk food adverts were unveiled yesterday to a hail of criticism from the food industry and health campaigners. Yeah, I bet it was. Ofcom is banning commercials for food high in salt, sugar and fat during children's programmes and on adult shows popular with the under-16s and stupid people. Because the implication is that they don't know what is good and what's not good for them. Whereas I propose that they do know what is good and what's bad for them. Everyone does.
Yeah.
Chips bad, apples good. I mean, how difficult is that? It's just that people don't want to eat. I don't like them, they say. The move is part of government's efforts to tackle childhood obesity and follows evidence that television advertising has a modest effect on children's diets. See, this is just entirely silly. It's the parents that should be affecting children's diets, because the problem is that parents in this country appear to have lost the ability to say no. What does no mean?
No!
But they just won't say it. Ma'am, can I have some fluffy angel delight deep fried with a Mars bar on it?
I think the trouble is when you were at school, if you always had a healthy packed lunch and you saw someone else with all the fun stuff, it just seemed more appealing. All the crisps and the chocolates. I mean, I always had to have a digestive with a lump of cheese, and rather than a chocolate biscuit, and all the apples and things like that, and yogurts and the sandwiches. I know that my brother and sister and I all just used to, swap them or put them in the bin.
I used to save my school meal money to buy records.
Did you?
Yeah.
You must have been very thin as a child.
The food industry said the rules were over the top and could damage the quality of children's television. The quality of it? There is no quality to children's television. It's rubbish from start to finish. I see much of it on the TV at the gym. They're always showing, it'll be one channel is sport, one is MTV.
Yeah.
My God, have you seen that video for something called, It's Thin, or Thin Things, or something like that. These gigantically fat, buxom ladies in minuscule lingerie doing household chores. Have you seen it?
No.
In the most lascivious way you've ever seen. It's pornography for chubby chasers.
And it's a song, is it?
Yeah, and it's on in the afternoon on MTV. And you just can't stop. Well, you can't take your eyes off it for a start. I mean, it's men, it's women doing, like the hoovering, as though they're showing off a sex toy. And then the graphic will come up with, easy grip, 8-inch handle on the the Hoover. And then they'll be ironing and, and pushing themselves over the ironing board as they're obviously not ironing. They're just, disporting themselves in a despicable manner. Damn it.
I think that's actually a Mickey take of another music video.
Is it?
Yeah, where it had, because it has, like, the details of each appliance come up.
Yeah.
Right. Excuse me. And there was another advert with more, kind of less amply proportioned ladies in it. Jiggling about with power tools a couple of years back.
Really?
I think it's supposed to be, ironic.
Well, it makes me laugh out loud. I can't concentrate on my stationary cycling.
Fall off the treadmill.
Yeah. It's particularly at the end where this voluptuous lady sits on, a succession of them, sit on a washing machine while it's on spin. And we get close-ups of all their jiggling bits, Lucy.
Oh, how revolting.
No, it's funny. Well, you see, now, we're not laughing at them.
With them?
Because they are good-looking women, there's no question about that. It's just that there's just more of them than you come to expect in a music video.
Are they very big?
Yes.
Are they obese, are they?
Yes. That's not a very nice way to put it, Lucy, but, okay, I'll go
Clinically
with that then.
obese?
Yes.
Plump.
I think everyone's clinically obese, aren't they?
Are we all clinically obese, do you think? No.
Probably just me.
No.
He said with a resigned note in his voice.
I thought I'd get in there before someone else did.
But no, you just fall around laughing in the gym where you're supposed to be serious. There's no laughing allowed in the gymnasium.
I think I'd
particularly
quite like that.
particularly in the locker rooms where it's frowned upon.
Yeah. Does everybody stare at each other still in the locker rooms and in the gym?
What?
Checking each other's bodies out and things like that. Because that always puts me off. That kind of need to look that good. I just feel too self-conscious if I go into a gym. Do you not feel self-conscious ever?
No. Everyone looks like crap on a stick in the gym because they're all red in the face and so they look dreadful.
But the really fit people don't. They're just running like I've been running for hours, and they seem to be there for hours. And when I used to go to a gym, I popped in for my kind of 3/4 of an hour. People had already been running there for ages. I would finish, have a shower, go for a swim, get changed, wrong way round, and then come back up and they'd still be running. And I just thought, that's bizarre. Why would you just keep going? It's sort of addictive.
No matter what time of the day that you go, some people will always be there. Whether you're there in the morning or then late afternoon or evening, it doesn't matter. Some people, you do notice, they're always in there. And gym might as well be is in the cellar. I mean, it doesn't have to be downstairs. But that's the nature of the thing. It's this great aircraft hangar of a place that's like almost in permanent darkness, apart from the dreadful lighting, which doesn't help.
No.
Right. But what kind of a life is that? Don't worry about them, Lucy. They've got no lives. They're just they're high on the drugs that they produce in their own brains. They're junkies.
Well, I'm glad I've given it up.
But anyway, that's not why what we were talking about. It's this thing with the food. We got onto this because it was children's TV, right?
Oh, yes.
And it said that it's going to affect the quality of children's television. And my position is that there is no quality to children's television. It's all American cartoons. It's entirely silly. You know, they're still doing Scooby-Doo.
Are they?
It's the guy that they saw at the beginning of the programme before they went into the disused fairground. It's always that bloke.
Ooh, with the blanket on his head.
They also pointed out, the food industry, that regulations allowed fast food companies such as McDonald's to sponsor children's television programmes, but banned adverts for olive oil, raisins and Marmite. The rules have gone much further than expected. Cost broadcasters around £39 million in lost advertising revenue, roughly the amount spent on original children's programmes by commercial broadcasters, with the Teletubbies and all that ridiculous, silly, rainbow-coloured nonsense that they throw at children. The ban will cover programmes made for children, dedicated children's channels, and shows with a higher-than-average proportion of child viewers. These programmes thought to include The Simpsons and Friends. Now, The Simpsons on Sky are have got a pizza company advertising, right? Which is just crispy fat in a box. So that's not going to be allowed, surely.
Aren't you the Pizza King?
Yeah, but I don't order out. I make my own from scratch. Totally different. There are loopholes. The ban will cover food products, not brands, allowing McDonald's or Coca-Cola to promote their companies without mentioning burgers or sugary drinks. Because that's what everybody knows McDonald's and Coca-Cola for. Things other than burgers and sugary drinks. So that's the message from the government. Don't eat fatty foods, kids. Much as the message from the government is don't take drugs, kids. And how is the war on drugs going, by the way?
Absolutely.
That's the wrong one. Not absolutely.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah, one of the two.
Your endowment policy could be worth more. Abbott.
Oh, fabulous.
Absolutely fabulous. Here's Louise.
Hi, Nick.
Hello, Louise.
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Super duper.
Good. You had that woman on earlier on, at the beginning of the show, talking about kissing her James Bond picture.
Yeah.
Well, I used to kiss posters as a kid. You didn't get the old kissing the pictures thing. It's like kissing a person, you kind of imagine it to be like.
No, it's not. It's kissing a piece of paper.
That's what it was like for me.
Who were you kissing?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Of course you were.
But I don't know if that was just a phase that I went through until I started kissing real boys.
Right. And you've never looked back, eh?
No. And the quality of children's TV. No wonder why kids are growing up to be crazy. They have to watch things like Teletubbies when they're, like, really young.
Teletubbies, right?
And I was watching this thing on ITV that's on in the weekends. I think it's called Ministry of Mayhem or something.
It's called what?
Ministry of Mayhem or something like that. I don't know. And the presenters are absolutely mental. And you were talking, like, there was this really, like, attractive blonde lady dressed up as a maid. And she's standing on this button and, like, throwing pies at people. So I don't know why kids are growing up confused.
You know, it were grand when I were alive. Because we used to have programmes like How. You remember How, right?
I love How.
With that American Indian start, How, they would say. And it used to be several people whose names I can't remember right now. Some northern bloke who wore glasses, giant glasses, the size of car windscreens he used to be peering out from. And they would do all sorts of things like... I can't think of anything right now, but how does gravity work and, things like that.
Yeah, that's how.
Actual education from a TV programme we got. And Blue Peter used to do all sorts of good things, and now, I warrant if you watch Blue Peter, it'll just be adverts for pop songs, and, and here's a McFly, or whatever the hell they're called, and it's just all gone silly.
Yeah.
No wonder kids are stabbing each other. There's a drought of good things to watch on television. That's the reason why.
Yeah. We need to make Blue Peter cool somehow.
Well, the problem with Blue Peter started when they went 3 times a week. Isn't it on at least 3 times? Or isn't it even on, like, every day now? But they haven't got enough material, which is why they just keep bringing pop bands in all the time. And if it's not about pop bands, it's about Doctor Who or some advert for what's coming up on BBC TV later on.
Yeah. There's no adverts on BBC. No, there's not, but they promote themselves more than...
Yeah.
The show program.
No end of adverts, including in the news. They'll do, this shock survey has just revealed, and if you want to see more on this, then there's a programme on Panoramas on tonight. Yeah.
Yeah. And the junk food thing as well.
Oh, hang on a minute. We've got to go, haven't we? Is that correct, Alex? We've got to go in order to come back. Hang on.
Okay.
Moving out to the country.
Well, let's get back to it.
Yes, Louise.
Yeah. The junk food advertising on TV, it's not the advertiser's fault that kids are buying things. It's the parents. If the parents take them to McDonald's, like, I used to get took there for a treat, so that was like saying, oh, it's okay to eat this.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, and I think that they should...
Well, it is okay to eat it, but not to eat it exclusively. Parents just have to learn to say no. Hey, Lucy, you know how to say no, don't you?
No.
There you go. Just practice that at home, boys and girls, for when you have children. Just say no. And then they'll say, oh, but Mum, and then you have to say no again.
And they'll scream and shout and
Yes.
kick. Yeah.
And then you get to, sit them on the naughty step.
Yeah. Because you're not allowed to hit them anymore.
Yeah, right. And that also has to be repealed, doesn't it?
Oh,
Much more thrashing should be going on, particularly at school. That's the reason why they're all...
mental.
Yeah, shooting their geography teacher is because they know that they can do it and get away with it.
Yeah.
And the police won't even come out.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
So, entirely much more thrashing. Am I right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Louise.
Okay.
Keep kissing your... which pictures do you kiss these days?
I don't. I kiss real men.
All right. Okay. All right. Keep up the good work. Ta-da.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so what have we learnt this hour? Oh, Tom Cruise is... have they done it yet?
Yeah, they're still partying.
Yeah, that's what it said on the news. No, they're not. All those super famous celebrity guests aren't partying. They'll be in bed at 11 o'clock with a herbal tea and a face mask. They don't do partying, famous people.
Abbott. It's a good idea to get someone else's opinion.
So everyone is just constantly reporting this thing. It's full of... The papers are full of it. The TV news is full of it. It's Tony Blair having a chat with Sir David Frost. We don't say Mr. Tony Blair, do we? But we have to say Sir David Frost, doffing our caps all the while. Why? It's mystery. What silly people we are. Tony Blair conceded last night that the invasion of Iraq by the United States and Britain had been a disaster, screams the front page of the Telegraph. Well, if you saw it, actually, you know what? He didn't. David Frost just threw the question in there, and Tony Blair fell over some words and then started to give his answer. But he didn't say it had been a disaster. Not really. Interviewed yesterday on Al Jazeera Television's new English language channel, Mr. Blair was challenged by Sir David over the daily murders, bombings and kidnappings in Iraq. Are there problems in Iraq? Sir David said the West's military invasion, which had cost almost 3,000 American and British lives, had been pretty much of a disaster. Mr. Blair responded, it has. It's kind of what he said, but not really. He just sort of fell over a couple of syllables, really, and you could say that he said it has, but he didn't actually mean that it has. Because, I mean, what's he going to do? Start coming out and telling us the truth now? Like, now he's going to start. Mr. Blair responded, it has, it says, but what I say to people is, or why is it difficult in Iraq? It's not difficult because of some accident in planning. It's difficult because there's a deliberate strategy, Al-Qaeda with Sunni insurgents on the one hand, Iranian-backed elements with Shia militias on the other, to create a situation in which the will of the majority for peace is displaced by the will of the minority for war. Well, that couldn't have been predicted, could it? It's Iraq. But, Sir David used to have a show on BBC One on Sunday morning, didn't he? Like, very early. So early that you'd only really catch the last half of it, because, you know, they'd been at it while you were still snoring your face off, yeah. But the thing was that you'd tune in and you think, was this recorded late at night after a heavy dinner? Because Sir David always seemed to be, I don't know, perhaps he had a medical condition. He used to be slurring his words a bit. There's no doubt about the way it sounded. The edges of his words had been rounded off as though by a plane. He wasn't, you know, precise in his pronunciation. It was all a bit kind of like that.
Talk like that.
Well, I don't think he's always talked like that, no. Why would he always talk like that, Lucy?
Well, no, he always seems to talk like that these days.
And had a bit of a shake going on. Perhaps he does have, you know, a medical condition. Perhaps it's just what happens when you get older.
Maybe.
The edges of your words get rounded and sort of fall into each other.
That's nice. We've all got that to look forward to.
Yeah, that's right. Here's one in Brixton. Hello, James.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm all right, thanks.
Yeah, there's something kind of ties in Casino Royale and these marketing scams all together, actually. Right. Now, I saw this week in a popular London weekly listings magazine.
Oh, yeah. Time Out, was it?
Something like that. In the back, in the small ads bit on the notice board, there's a section entitled Espionage. This is straight after disco and before the tuition section for the English schools. Now, I read this, and it's a riddle, basically. Shall I read it out quickly?
Well, this is the ads where they have, like, I saw you on the tube last night at 5:30.
No, it's not in
you
the
were wearing a
personals.
blue jacket.
Yeah, well, like I say, it's in amongst the man and van and mind and body section at the back.
Right, okay, so it's not personal ads.
No.
Right.
It's just like, you know, if you see a news section and it says espionage, you're going to read it.
Yeah, of course.
Like I say, it could be one of these marketing scams. But there's a story, because I actually went out to this yesterday to try and solve it. It's been riddling my mind a bit. It says, seeking a professor, ? Surrounded by screens, Joan Collins left hands in ground. Nearest phones ring twice per hour. Find out the times and answer the phone with Savoy Hotel. Right?
That sounds very suspicious.
Doesn't it? I cracked it. I'll tell you what it is.
Well, read it to us again.
Well, surrounded by... seeking professor, that's the first bit.
Seeking a professor?
Yeah. Then it says, surrounded by screens, which could be cinema screens, Joan Collins left hands in ground. Now, in Leicester Square, there's, you know, like in Hollywood Boulevard with the...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They've got equivalent sort of thing, but they've cast it in bronze.
Right.
So I went there yesterday morning, I found Joan Collins' hands, and then the next bit says, nearest phones ring twice per hour. Immediately next to her hands, there's two old school, like, red London phone boxes.
They still exist?
Yeah. They still work as well, I know.
Because they ring twice an hour.
Well, I thought, I try and work out the time, but I thought if I stay there an hour, it's going to ring there twice, isn't it? So you've got to try and picture this, actually, you know, trying to stand next to a phone box, not looking too assuming.
Casually,
like a spy would.
Yeah, lingering.
I did notice quite a few people in grey suits on their phones and, you know, in long coats.
Anybody with the Financial Times under their arm and a white carnation?
Many, all over, mixed amongst the tourists. But the point is that I found this in the back of that. Now, obviously...
Well, wait a minute, did the phone ring?
No, it didn't.
Oh.
Now, many things go... I mean, this came out on Wednesday, which was the same day that Casino Royale came out. Now, obviously, if you're going to stand in a phone box for an hour on a wet Friday morning, then you're going to ask yourself why you're actually doing that and who you expect's going to phone up, surely.
Well, I'm outraged. They put you through all of that and then they didn't even call.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, maybe somebody worked it out before me and went the day before and sussed it out.
And they don't mention what the nature of the prize would be?
No, nothing. This is the beautiful thing, that in this ad, with a section of espionage, that's all it says. And so, anyway, it made me leave the house and try and solve this riddle. But I just wondered if this is actually like a marketing scam for, you know, this is the length and depth that, I mean, it's worked already if I'm talking about it now on the radio.
Yeah, I suppose so.
But what do you think about that? Has anybody else actually read this popular London weekly listings magazine?
No, I don't think so. Not anymore. No.
No, not after that. Actually,
not since the late 70s. I don't think. No.
I actually checked last week's issue of this magazine.
What? Time Out?
Yeah. And but there wasn't an espionage section in it. You see.
Curiouser and curiouser.
Could be a scam, or just could be a prank. If it was, I don't really care, because actually I've got two other friends involved in it. Another friend was in the area today and checked by for 10 minutes, so didn't ring.
Well, you'd have to check by for at least, you'd think, 30. If it was going to ring twice an hour, it would be pretty unreasonable if they rang at 5, 2 and 4 minutes to the hour. Every half hour, like buses.
There's the other part to the riddle, which I thought I'd solved, which was the seeking a professor.
Yeah.
Now, in Leicester Square, there's 4 busts, there's 4 statues and one in the middle. Now, there's Newton, who was a professor. So I've learnt a lot about London, because it said on the board that it was professed that Newton actually lived on Leicester Square, but he didn't. He lived on a street nearby. So I went to 35 St Martin's Street, and there was a house, as a building, I think it's Westminster Library now, and it said Newton lived on a house on this site from 1710 to 1727.
I bet he couldn't park around there.
No, not at all. But you get the thing with these times, because it actually gave 2 times on the 25 o'clock.
Yes. And they were?
And they were, 1710 and 1727, you see, to try and work out these 2 times per hour.
And were you there at 1710?
No, I wasn't. I got there I wasn't going to wait another 6 hours to...
So you weren't that committed?
I was committed to be there just over an hour and get a friend come down on the bus and stalk out his phone box with me, but...
Well, it seems that you would at least get, I don't know, a box of chocolates, perhaps.
Or even tickets to Casino Royale.
Yeah,
you know.
Good luck with that. $17.50 they want at that cinema.
Oh, still £9 an hour. Waiting in the phone box is worth it.
I suppose. All right, well, thanks for the insight.
It's my pleasure.
You're not employed, are you, James?
I'm an artist.
An artist, like I said. All right, thanks a lot.
All right, bye-bye.
Ta-ta. So, anybody knows what that's all about, then give us a ring or keep it to yourself. One of the two. This is LBC.
Nothing on the telly. Nick Abbott.
You're wondering what it's all about, and I can't tell you because I don't know myself.
Oh, Jessica.
Hello, Nick.
Hello, Jessica.
I do think that most fat people are unemployed.
You think that most fat people are unemployed?
I think so. I mean, I don't have the statistics to back that up, but I get that impression. The gym that I go to, there's like a floor-to-ceiling window, and it looks out over a bus stop. And you see people there, and you can just tell that they're unemployed. They've got their McDonald's bag, and they're travelling on the bus on their kind of £3.50 bus pass.
Just to get out of the rain.
Yeah, exactly, to save on the electricity. And it inspires you in a way. I mean, that's a good thing, I guess. But maybe rather than say periodically to these people, have you been looking for work? We should say, have you lost weight? Weigh them when they become unemployed and give them £1 per pound for every pound they lose.
Right.
Don't you think that's a good idea?
Yeah, or we could just execute them, eh, Jessica?
Well, no, I'm not saying that at all. I'm trying to inspire these people to do something else than being fat.
To do something else other than being fat?
Yeah,
what, like for a living, you mean?
If all you've got is your McDonald's and your sandwiches and your crisps and sweets that you watch in front of Trisha, what's going to make you get off your big fat, whatever, and go out to work?
Right, seems like you've thought about this a lot.
Well, I'm not really. I only heard you about 5 minutes ago. I just tuned in.
Standing there and you're in the full-length window, pointing and laughing at the fat people at the bus stop with their crisps and their chocolate.
How many people do you know that are in employment that are fat? Who has time for lunch or dinner if you're working? Lots of people that are fat have time to eat. That's the problem. They've got too much time on their hands to kind of, take on too many calories.
Right.
I think it's a good idea. I can tell that you don't.
Well, I think it's, I don't think... Not even the Conservatives would put that forward.
Why not?
Not even when they're not in power would they suggest that as a policy.
But why
Pay
not?
fat people £1 to lose £1. Is that what you're saying?
It's time to tell these people the truth, and that is, you're not going to get a job if you're fat. If you go along to a restaurant and say, can I be a waitress, and you're fat, they're going to say no, because it's going to put people off their food. Would you want to be served by a fat person?
Well, I don't know. It would suggest that it's almost a positive recommendation for the food that they're serving, isn't it? Because they've obviously eaten so much of it.
No, it's going to make you think, I don't want to eat so much because I'm going to end up like that.
Well, that's like saying you go into a bar and the publican behind the bar has got a red nose.
No, honestly, if there's a fat waitress serving me, I'm going to skip on dessert. That's going to affect their profit.
Huh. Well, I don't know really what to say. You've rendered me speechless, but hungry.
But hungry, yeah. Dig into your pizza. Order one right now from Domino's.
I think, well, No, I will not go. I will not go that far because I'll make my own from scratch. It's the only way to eat pizza.
I'll tell you something that puts you off your food. Have you been watching I'm a Celebrity?
No, but I know someone who has.
Okay.
Hey, Luce.
I love it.
Exactly. I mean, I know that I made you a bit addicted to Big Brother, and I do kind of proportion a certain amount.
That was you?
Yeah, for that. But really, the I'm a Celebrity, it's something else. You're missing out if you're not watching it.
Now, is this another trick? Because you made me watch
honestly,
Big Brother all summer long. Every day for an hour I was watching that. Ruining my life, you were.
Well, I didn't make you tune in.
Yes, you did. It was you what did it.
But David Guest, who's a freak, according to him, there was a woman once.
Is he a fat freak, Jessica?
He is, actually.
Right, just checking.
He's losing a few pounds. I bet at the end of the I'm a Celebrity, he's lost a stone.
Now, can I ask you a question about this? Did you used to be fat?
I've never been fat.
Right. Because you just come across as one of these sort of people who are possessed almost with a religious fervour, like people who've given up cigarettes, just become obsessed with being in a smoke-free environment.
No, I count my calories, you know.
Do you?
Body mass.
You count your calories. You see, I think that's the problem right there. People in this country, like I was saying last week, are too obsessed by food. Stop thinking about food all the time. This is the problem.
Yeah, but
people didn't used to think about food. They just used to have breakfast, have a bit of, you know, scratchings or a bit of dripping on bread. Dripping on bread. And then for dinner, they'd have a pork pie or whatever it was. They wouldn't be thinking and obsessing about food all the time. You know, in the 50s, you couldn't go to McDonald's and Pret-a-Manger, and you couldn't go to Boots and get your little snacky poos, and food wasn't on your mind all the time because no one had any.
Yeah, well, if you're employed, you've got nothing else to think about.
If you wanted a snack, you'd have to open a tin of Spam. Yeah. And that's why nobody really thought about food very much. And now, because we don't have to work to get calories are being thrown at us practically for free. The amount of calories that you used to have to go out and plough a field all day to acquire, now you can get for 15p at the newsagents. Yeah. So we've got no end of calories and no end of choices in which to sate our desire to constantly stuff things in our mouths.
Well, maybe we should make
calling
like a Mars
Dr.
bar.
Freud. Huh?
£5. Maybe we should make a Mars bar, £5. A packet of crisps, £3.50. Maybe that would help. It's kind of cheap cheap food is bad food for you, I think. I don't mind paying a bit more for healthy food, but food that is bad for you is cheap, it's a fact. And it applies, it appeals to unemployed people. That's why they eat it. Because they can afford it. Anyway, watch I'm a Celebrity, seriously.
I absolutely will not do that.
No, you should, because there's just all of life there. There really is. I mean, there's something deeply satisfying. It's better than a donut to watch the kind of list celebrities get covered.
Is it better even than in your sweat-drenched leotard from the comfort of your heated gym to stare out the window and watch fat people at the bus stop eating crisps?
Well,
is it even better for you than that?
Yeah, it makes me go that extra mile.
All right, thanks a lot, Jessica. Ta-ta. What a nice lady. She sounds so innocent and sweet, and she's the woman that made me watch Big Brother for the entire summer. She's actually evil.
But you succumbed to the peer group pressure.
Yes.
And I'm with Jessica.
Hold on to that thought. We'll deal with this programme as we come back. All right.
We don't need to go away.
Huh? It says out to news 29:15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, 29. Oh, I was thinking hour 29, 15 minutes past 29. But that doesn't make any sense at all, does it?
What are you on about?
When are we reaching hour 29?
I've got no idea. Right, so, yes. So I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here.
Yeah, you must watch it.
No, I won't.
Why?
Why would I want to?
This is much more entertaining.
Is it?
Yeah, and it's shorter.
But I've never heard of any of the people that are on it. I mean, only vaguely in passing. David Guest, I know, because he was married to Liza with a Z, not Liza with an S, because Liza with a Z goes Z, not S.
Yeah, you've heard of our Toby Anstis.
Of course.
Of course. And who else have you heard of?
Exactly.
Jason Donovan, of course you've heard of. He's very nice, actually.
Well, of course he's nice. He's on television.
No, but he's a lot nicer than a lot of the other celebs in there. He seems a bit more down to earth, you know.
Oh, he's an Australian.
Well,
they
he's
are
quite
known for it, they are.
But he's not pretentious at all. Much more easygoing.
Like I said, he's an Australian.
Yeah.
You ever met a pretentious Australian?
No, I guess not, no. No. So will you watch it?
Well, it's unappealing to me because I don't like the things that I've read that they make him do. Like eating ants and stuff like that.
They haven't eaten any ants yet. They've had them crawling on them and they've had them going up their knickers and pants, but...
You see, that's just horrible to me.
Is it?
Yeah.
But they're getting paid an absolute fortune. Like 50 grand. They can deal with a few ants up their pants. I'd do it.
You see, this is an insight into... You see, you also seem very sweet and nice-natured, but actually, deep down, you're quite evil. It's shocking, because you're not rooting for these people. You're revelling in their discomfort and misfortune. Aren't you?
Dean Gaffney entered, and he had to do a task when he got in, and it was called the Salon. And he had to do loads of different tasks, and one of them was lying back with his hair in the sink with his hand in cockroaches to get a star out. And he was trying not to vomit throughout his whole task. He had to go and do various different things, but that was amusing.
Explain the... 'cause I don't get that. Explain where the entertainment value is there, unless you actually really hate that person.
No, I don't hate him, and actually
I've got no idea who
well
Dean Gaffney is.
He used to be in EastEnders,
right?
And he had a dog called Wellard. He was called Robbie Fairley, I think.
Wellard?
Yeah.
It is so hard.
Yeah.
Huh.
Anyway, it's entertaining. If you just watch one, I think you'll have to watch more, a bit like Big Brother.
Well, then you're the kind of person that would go to an accident and emergency department and just hang out in the waiting room to watch all the people come in.
That's not true at all. No, these are very wealthy celebrities who put themselves up for it. And frankly...
So you'd hang out at Chelsea and Westminster accident and emergency to see the wealthy people come in with a saucepan on their heads. No, they wouldn't.
They might be in the Cromwell.
The Cromwell, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? If it's an emergency, go to the NHS. If it's elective, go private. Never mind about the insurance of your household items. Never mind about all of that. Never mind about... Well, you've got to have car insurance, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, buy a cheaper car and get cheaper car insurance and then insure yourself. Because the last thing you want to do when some niggly thing is ruining your life, as any medical complaint will, because you won't be able to get your mind off it, is to be told that there's nothing wrong with you, go away, or at best, come back in 6 months when the consultant may see you. And you'll come back in 6 months. What's that noise? I think it's Alex's phone. What does it make now?
It's still Philip in South Norwood.
Saying?
Hoodies.
Hoodies?
Yeah.
Don't you find that embarrassing when your phone goes off and Philip from South Norwood is saying hoodies?
Especially on the radio.
Philip.
I didn't. Was that me?
I think that he's got you saying hoodies...
I believe one or two people have.
As his ringtone.
Yeah, what happened was I got asked to say that when Ian did a show, and I think he recorded it, and several people are using it on their phones.
And you're getting nothing for this, right?
No, well, I mean, you know, only the publicity.
You're being abused, Philip. People are taking advantage of you.
I don't mind people, you know, using my voice on their phone. I'm, you know,
honoured.
Yes. Is that the word?
Well, I suppose so. Yeah.
Yes.
I think you're being taken advantage of.
Oh well.
If only people would take advantage of me.
Ah.
So anyway, it's Mr. Lister.
Good evening, Nick.
How are you?
I've got 3 things. Actually, I've got a free gift.
For me?
You or Lucy.
Right. I picked me.
I bought The Guardian today because there was an article in there I wanted to read.
Oh, of course there was, yeah.
Boring! No, it wasn't. It was very interesting. But the free gift inside is a car sticker. And I haven't got a car. And I'll send it to you and Lucy. You can fight over it. Or Alex might want it.
A car sticker in The Guardian?
Yeah. It says, and I've got it in front of me, yes, this journey is absolutely necessary.
Oh, you know what? That's funny.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll send it in the post, and you, Lucy and Alex can have a fight over who sticks it on their car.
Right, I'll stick it on Alex's car.
Oh, right. Right. You've been talking about music videos, Nick.
Was I? Oh, yes.
You were talking about... I mean, there are several that spring to mind because I remember...
I bet you've got a list of them.
Well, I remember them in the 60s.
The 60s?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? They used to have a box in the 60s that was like a jukebox.
Yes.
It showed... No, well, it wasn't the
Tone.
60s. It was the 30s, wasn't it?
It was the 60s. It was called the Scoppy Tone.
But I think that in the 30s they had a similar thing that was
They?
actually... Yeah, well, there was actually film, and it was in black and white, and you paid your...
Yes.
Your 3 groat, or whatever it was then, and then you could watch, see what the butler saw. A little naughty naked.
Yes.
You know what, Philip? I'm going to have to pause.
Okay,
and come back, all right?
Right.
Christmas 3.
Right, so what are we doing?
We're doing Mr. Lister.
Good evening again.
Hello, Philip.
Yes, the music videos in the 60s, they had what they called the Scoppy Tone, and you put the money in and you saw the artist singing the song.
Shaking it all about.
And one of the people on there, I had the chance to speak to him on LBC.
Who?
Was Neil Sedaka.
Oh, Neil Sedaka.
Calendar Girl was the one, and he reckoned that he was one of the first people to do a music video.
Right.
Because it was a very good. It was and a girl came out for each month of the year. You know the song. I can't remember the words, but I can't sing it. But yeah, it was a really good video. And
Neil Sedaka sang Calendar Girl.
Calendar Girl, yeah.
Right.
I love my calendar girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that was it. Yes.
Sure he does.
And yeah, as I say, I tell you, he was on many years ago. I know he's been on recently. Lucy was saying, but he was on with Pete Murray on a late night show.
Ah, yes, Pete Murray.
Yes. And as I say, some of the best music videos I've ever seen were country music videos. Do you remember CMT?
What's that?
Used to be country music television.
No.
It's still going in the States.
I bet it is.
We used to get it on cable, and some of the videos were really good. They were a lot of thought went into them. The songs were good. And it's a shame, really, that we don't now. It's mostly because it's all pop, isn't it? VH1.
Yes, dreadful, awful, loud, popular music.
Yeah,
yes,
well,
rock and roll.
I mean, why can't
Where are the tunes, eh?
The only one I liked was I actually liked the Buggles from the video Killed the Radio.
You really are.
Oh wow! I mean, it was.
You feel too much.
The ones they used, there was a couple of funny ones. There was one called the Grundy County Auction Incident. Was about a guy who bid for his wife at an auction.
Right.
And that was a very good song. But the reason I bought The Guardian today, Nick, there's a film opening next week, which I want to go and see. It's called Hollywoodland. Have you heard about it?
Hollywoodland.
Yes.
It does ring a bell, but I don't know why.
It's the story behind the death of TV's first Superman.
Right.
There was a guy called George Reeves.
George Reeves.
Yeah. And there's been a mystery surrounding him. There was some people said he committed suicide. Some people said he was murdered. This film, I don't know how far with the facts it is, but they got Ben Affleck playing George Reeves.
Some people said he committed suicide. Some people say he was murdered. Right. He wasn't looking for weapons of mass destruction for the government, was he?
No. Actually, it's strange. You can actually get this series from the 50s with George Reeves. You can get it on box sets in the main shops now. And it really is interesting to see how what you would call primitive TV science fiction. You could see the wires. When he jumped out the window, you could see the wires.
Well, I remember Dan Dare, and it looked like 2 pie tins on a piece of string.
Dan Dare. I don't remember Dan Dare on television.
No, he used to be in the cinema. Wasn't Dan Dare in the cinema? Am I old enough to have seen that?
I'm sure you... Dan Dare, to my knowledge, has never been in the cinema now.
Yeah, well, like I said, I was really flying at the time.
You've probably been to see one of these Saturday morning picture things which they used to have on was Radar Men from the Moon.
Yeah, give us an O, they said. Give us a D. Give us an E.
You don't sound old enough to have gone to Saturday morning pictures.
Give us an N. What's that spell? ABC.
Oh, you were an ABC person.
I've got no idea. I was in a Mickey Mouse Club, or was that
Mickey
also on
Mouse
television? I don't know. We used to go to the cinema and we used to shout and scream and run up and down the aisles.
Where did you go to, Nick?
I've no idea.
Oh,
it was in Chelmsford, in Essex.
Oh, in Essex. All right, yeah. Oh, obviously it was an ABC.
It was probably luxury flatlets by now.
Yes. I mean, those were the days you go there and start chucking bread rolls at the screen.
Yeah.
And you'd get a cartoon. You'd get a...
with your Kia Ora, slurping it, yeah.
Oh, yes, Kia Ora, Eora, yes. And then you'd get a feature which was either a comedy, Old Mother Riley meets the vampire, or the Bowery Boys. And then you'd get these marvellous serials where you'd have a woman hanging off of a roof, and you'd have to come back next week and see whether she fell off or not.
Yeah, she never did.
No, that's right. And because also, Nick, talking about music, I see one of the members of Spinal Tap is coming to appear in a play in London.
Which one?
Michael McKean.
Who's that?
That I don't know. I was asked that the other day. He was the guy he originally was in the Vernon Shirley Happy Days as Lenny.
Not Squiggy?
No, not Squiggy, no, Lenny, the tall one.
Right, I'm with you.
Yeah, and he was also in A Mighty Wind.
Yes.
And Waiting for Guffman.
Yep, okay.
Yeah, so, as I say, they'd be interested. He's appeared in a play, I believe, in London with Neve Campbell, so that should be interesting.
Right, well, as soon as he gets here, I definitely won't go, all right.
Oh, dear, you sound really down tonight. What's the problem?
I sound down?
Yes, you don't sound as happy as you usually do.
Is that true, Luce?
I'm not sure.
I'm perfectly happy.
Anyway, I'll send you the car sticker and you can fight it out.
Yeah, all right, do that. Thanks a lot.
Okay, Nick.
Ta-ta. Do I not sound happy? Happy.
I think you do sound very happy tonight.
There you go.
Yeah, you do.
Miserable old git.
I think you're a cheery little soul tonight, aren't
you? Let's talk about all-out nuclear war, shall we?
Oh, well, that's not cheery.
Let's talk about bird flu.
Oh, I thought it had gone away.
No.
Has it come back?
It's not even arrived here yet, but it will soon, and then everyone will die, because we're not ready for it, apparently.
Are we still waiting?
Yes.
Oh. Wasn't there one bird anyway in Scotland who'd got it?
It'll be coming to a tube train near you soon. Oh. I don't know about you, but every time I go on a tube train, there's people coughing all around me, and I just want to put...
no.
I just want to,
Do you hold your breath? I always hold my breath when someone sneezes near me.
Well, that's not going to help.
No, apparently, if you hold your breath for a while, then it can allow all the kind of dewdrops and things
Don't the dewdrops go through your eyeballs?
Oh.
Yeah.
What? If you're just standing near someone?
Yeah.
Surely not.
Surely so.
Okay, well, I'm going to shut my eyes and hold my breath.
That will look attractive. Let's have Tallulah. Oh, Tallulah, how's your parrot?
Hey, you! Cheer up, man!
I'm cheery.
My parrot, he's brilliant, but you know what? You've been talking about health insurance, yeah?
Yes, get some.
Because no, you want to be in a safe place when it happens.
When what happens?
When you're ill, you don't want to rely on the NHS.
Well, it's like the people. Well, you know, I had a recent near-death experience. Of course, it's etched on your minds. Yeah, and what they said to me there was, if it's an emergency, go to the NHS. Don't hang around waiting to see some private doctor in a private hospital or anything like that. You go straight to the NHS, because that's what they do, emergencies, right? If it's something that's not a life or death situation, then if you can possibly afford it, you know, most people can, then go private. Get health insurance. It's much more important than insuring your CD collection and your clothes and your tables and your chairs and all that rubbish, which you wouldn't mind seeing, you know, broken up. But you don't want to see yourself broken up.
Okay, let me tell you my story. In Germany, if you're in a hospital, it's a bit like a hotel experience. It's rather cute. And I tell you, it must have hit my mind, because I broke all knees and elbows and whatever. It was absolutely fantastic. I spent loads of time in hospital.
You broke your knees and your elbows?
Of course not on purpose, but it just all happened, and I wasn't... for example, I had a car accident on my way to a gig to my brother when he was playing the Rock Palace in Hamburg, and we had a car... I wasn't the driver, but I ended up in hospital, and instead of me visiting my brother Michael's gig, he ended up visiting me in hospital the following day.
But the hospital was so nice you'd like to actually spend a holiday there. Yeah, I've been in hospitals like that.
It was like a hotel. But when I came to England, I was aware that the hospitals are very rubbish, and I've never ever been in hospital since then.
Well, don't worry, they're closing them all down. There won't be any left soon. Then there will be nothing to complain about.
Well,
But, yeah, it's like a hotel with hot and cold running drugs. And some of them are great. Like the one they gave me just before I had a procedure was fantastic, but it only lasted for about 15 minutes. But you can't ask for more, can you? Especially if it's a little quick in and out, because they won't give it to you, because they're professional.
They serve you dangerous bugs over here.
What?
They serve you dangerous bugs over here without telling you.
They serve you dangerous bugs.
Yeah, there's dangerous...
And here we are back in the jungle again, being served dangerous bugs. All right, well, I'll look out for that.
Okay then.
Thanks, Tallulah.
Bye-bye.
Ta-ra. Let's have Bromley. Hello, Roy.
Hello, mate. How you doing? All right?
All right, thanks.
Good. I was driving home when I heard you talking about that car number plate. B2.
B2?
B2 or not 2B?
Yeah, 2B.
2B. I came home and I've checked up on my little book.
Yeah.
And it actually belongs to a bloke called B. Goulnick of London South West 1. And he bought it in November of 93 and he paid £20,000 for it.
What book will give you that information?
It's called Car Numbers.
You can look up anyone's car number plate.
Yeah, it's called Car Numbers and it's by a bloke called Noel Woodall and Brian Heaton. I've had a look for Nick's, for Nick Ferrari.
Has he got a vanity plate?
No, but I mean, if he wanted to buy Nick's, and Nick's was sold in March of... hang on, let me go back to it, get the right number, because I've just put the page. It was sold in June of 96, and that sold for £37,000.
So what's the name of the... I don't know, we should be actually saying this on the air. So that wasn't a famous name that you just said, was it? Because I thought that it would be a famous actor, to be or not to be. I mean, that would have been Michael Caine or somebody like that. Huh.
In the book, as I saying, it's quite a public book.
But not a very interesting one, I wouldn't think.
Well,
not to read at leisure.
With you, I sometimes look at them while I'm driving along.
What?
And I look at the number plates while I'm driving along. I mean, I own a couple of them. I'm a bit sad as well. And I always have a come home and see who they were.
A quick peek?
Yeah, I mean, LBC, which is one LBC, one of them belongs to the London Brick Company, but the other one, it doesn't say who owns it, and that sold for £7,250 in March of 92.
And the most expensive one of all time would be what, 1A? Something like that?
They reckon the most expensive one at the moment is Pilot, P1 LOT, and that's sold for about £87,000 in auction.
I saw there was a car parked outside my flat the other day, and I'll have to write this down so I don't get this wrong. It was... I don't know whether it's actually a legal plate. It wasn't in legal script. It was in one of those sort of wide boy scripts, you know, with the kind of car that has those blue neon lights underneath it, and those little blue pin lights on the window washer things. But it was P166OFF. Write that down and think about that for a moment. And there it was, shouting at me from the street. P166OFF.
Yeah. I mean, what's the name? I saw one in a garage. I just couldn't believe it. And it was YE51ORD. And it read, "Yes, Lord."
Scary.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was quite unbelievable to look at. You know, you just thought, wow.
Was there a burning bush by the side of the road? Anything like that?
Unbelievable, isn't it? But as I say, I mean, they are interesting. Sometimes you look at them and you think, why is that private and why is that personal to somebody? You know, it's quite amazing when you see some of them.
I think the best thing would be to just get a cheap plate with any old collection of letters on it and then change your name to fit the plate. Probably be much cheaper than actually buying it.
It might be. But
All right, well, listen, thanks a lot, Roy.
yeah, that's all right.
Cheers, mate. Ta-da.
Okay, see you later. Bye.
Let's have Siobhan Lambeth.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, yeah, those two number plates that you're talking about, 2B, and the other one says not 2B.
Yeah.
They do belong to a famous actor, and it's the one that says not a lot of people know that. And that's the fact.
It's Michael Caine, is it?
It is definitely, yeah. And it's, you know, by Chelsea Harbour?
Yes.
That's where they're parked up. And one time I was driving in Soho, and I was behind the one that said not to be, which is a Bentley, and he pulled up at Ronnie Scott's in Soho Square, and he got out. Then I saw him.
Huh. But they're parked. I guess the garage doesn't necessarily have to belong to the house that's above it. I thought that Michael Caine lived in one of those tower blocks by Chelsea Wharf.
Yeah, by there, and there's these two parking spaces, like arched parking spaces.
That's right.
And two cars are in them. One says 2B, and the other one says not 2B.
And one's a Bentley and one's
One's a little sports car.
well, it's an Aston Martin.
There you go. I don't know much about cars. There you go.
I'm telling you it is. That's the car I want to rip all of my clothes off and throw myself on its bonnet.
Oh, blimey.
It's ravishing, Siobhan.
Good for you.
It's not good for me. It's a weirdness that men have, but, you know.
I don't know anything about cars, and I wouldn't know what to do with one if one broke down. I've just started driving.
Well, neither would I. I'd
No.
call my, the green police, or whatever they're called. The green flag people, yeah.
Excellent. All right, then. Well, I just thought I'd clear that up for you.
All right, thanks, Siobhan.
All right, you're welcome.
Ta-da. So, it's Michael Caine's, eh? Huh.
You said it was a famous actor.
Well, it had to be or not to be. So, right, we've sorted that out. Anything else?
LBC 97.3. Abbott.
Hi, honey. How are you?
How are you, Jethro?
Oh, I'm fine. Yeah, thanks. Is it my turn, is it?
Yes, it is.
A bit like the doctor's waiting room, actually.
Moan, moan, moan.
No, I'm just making an observation, or an experience of my subjective person.
Always complaining.
No, not at all. I was quite enjoying the show, actually.
Bitching and whining ears.
I did think that was spotting. I am spotting famous stars' number plates. I shall put it down in my Ian Allen book of famous number plates by British stars, page 3.
Right. This is you not complaining, is it?
No, it's a bit sort of.
I was just curious, because I can't pass an Aston Martin without yearning for it like nothing else on earth.
Yeah,
and it's got the number plate 2B, parked next to a Bentley that's got not 2B. How can you not be curious?
Well, I just think it's strange, because he could have bought a third car, of a top-line nature for the number plate, that is, for the price of the number plate that is banged on it.
I know. Which means that he doesn't care about money, he's got so much of it.
Or it's just, or the excess of money has turned his mind into a foolish state of atrophy. Atrophy. Is that the right word?
Well, yeah.
It's gone soft in the mind, in the brain.
Let's say that for balance, he hasn't.
Oh, okay. But in the fact that you have been identified by Philip as being in a state of complete misery tonight, I've got 4 possible solutions for you.
All right, none of which is listening to you, I warrant.
Oh, thanks so much. No, you could either go to the NHS and take some Prozac.
Yes.
Go to Health and Heather and get some ginseng.
No, that stuff doesn't work. You take it once and it's a bit speedy.
All right.
And then you take it a couple more times and then the effect wears off. It's one of those things that's only good briefly.
Right. It's a bit like that sort of stuff that you used to get, and it was just concentrated caffeine, sort of speed tablets, what they called. They were not actually...
Pro Plus.
Pro Plus, yeah.
Yeah, we used to take those at university a lot, for no good reason, other than that we just felt that it would make us do better studying, which of course it doesn't, because your mind is skating around all over the place, and, flying hither, thither and yon, and you're trying to get through some of the most boring books that have ever been invented. You're sitting in the library, and if there's one thing about sitting in the library, it makes you just want to do anything else. Do you know what I mean? I mean, there's a thing about libraries, especially at university. I couldn't work in the library. It was just too...
Did you used to take time out by going to the Students' Union and having a cup of coffee and a untipped Woodbine cigarette?
Never did.
No. Or some rolled Dutch shag?
No, I never had any Dutch shag at university.
Oh, it's cheaper.
So it's one of my many regrets.
And
And the other thing good about that is you can be in denial because you can't read the warning sign that's telling you about to kill yourself on the fourth cigarette that you'd hand roll because it's all in Dutch and you don't understand it.
Yes.
Very good. All right, so not Prozac. Not, what about therapeutic Zen Buddhist meditation schemes? No?
Meditation. I couldn't keep my mind still for long enough. Like sleeping, yes. Meditation, no. I'd be thinking, what's on TV? You know, my bum itches.
Oh, right. Okay. Not attentive.
I fancy a biscuit, you know, stuff like that.
Right.
I couldn't go to a higher plane just by driving myself there mentally, do you know what I mean?
Right, okay. You just have to go and watch them taking off from Heathrow.
Yeah.
Now, what I really wanted to talk about, the real subject, was the quality of toilets in public houses in the UK.
Yes. Good. Excellent.
Is that all right? Can we go into that one?
Yes, let's step into the toilet.
Yeah, so to speak. I was in Southampton early in the week, and I needed to take a call of nature. Nature was calling me, and
screaming at you, it was.
Yeah, it really was. It really was, violently. And I'd stopped in the pub, and I thought I had to buy a drink at the same time, not just mercenarily use the toilets and walk out again.
Of course.
So I bought a drink, and I looked around me, and there was wonderful decoration in this pub. It's obviously spent thousands of pounds employing some interior design company to get the ambience and the atmosphere totally right.
Right, well, tartan carpet and red walls, was it? Something like that?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. No ducks on the wall, though. And there was about 4 screens around, so you could be entertained by boring Sky television programmes or even the worst, BBC News 24.
Yeah, screens should be banned from public houses.
What are they doing there?
Along with those fruit machines that got all those lights on them, you can't take your eyes off them.
Oh, yeah, that's awful. It's a bit like being in the bazaar, isn't it? Or one of those fairs that come around and just flash lights all the time and whip up candy floss and then bash you with...
Feed me, they're saying.
The bumper dodgers sort of things, yeah. It's just... I don't know, I go into pub to relax. I don't go into pub to get a migraine. But anyway, so... I noticed all this, and there was this tool, the other thing that you need in the pubs nowadays, which is the tall, sort of 6-foot tall, I said tall twice a day, fridges that have bottles stacked in beautifully, beautiful lines, all wiped down clean and looking bright and shiny. And so I got my drink, and then I retired to the lavatory, which was my real intent of going to the pub, and I went into one of the cubicles, and it didn't have a lock on it. There was a broken lock. It was, and there was scratched horrible doors, and I went to the other one, and that was lockless as well, without a lock. And I just thought that was terrible.
Well, in case you are in there doing something you shouldn't oughta. You know, like
going to the toilets.
Yes.
Toilets are obviously meant to be used.
Yeah.
And it was in a terrible state, and I went back...
Were they sanitised for your protection?
What, the seats?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll take that as a no.
I heard that it's okay because most bugs and germs die within about 2 minutes of leaving the warm confines of the previous human body.
Right, lovely.
So I'm not too worried about it. I think I'm tough anyway. Not used. I don't line the seat with toilet paper because I think I'm tough and hard. But anyway, I was disgusted by the standard of loose because I honestly think that the quality and significance of a nation's culture is directly correlated to the standard of public toilet facilities.
Well, yeah, that's what the French say. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you go to one in Switzerland, you find it's very good, very high. If you go to one in the former Yugoslavia, it's appalling.
Not so good.
Not so good. So I went out and I complained, and I thought I did.
You went to the pub and you complained about the state of the toilet.
Yeah, and I pointed out that they probably spent about £20,000 on their screens, but why haven't they spent about couple blocks?
No molten brown hand lotions.
Do they have hand lotions? I think it did, yeah, I did wash afterwards, yeah.
Oh, good, I'm glad to hear it.
I know.
Did you wash and then touch the handle that was on the inside of the door of the toilet in order to get out? I tell you, I'm becoming like Howard Hughes or Michael Jackson. You never wash your hands and then touch anything afterwards, by which I mean ever. It's like the Queen, that's why she carries white gloves around with her all the time.
Oh, right, to stop the infections from the common people.
That's right, when she has to nip into the pub, when she's caught short, when her body is screaming at her... Gotta go to the loo, she thinks, and that's why she wears the white gloves. After she's washed her hands, can't touch the inside of a door handle.
Have we got time out? Can I just say one last thing?
Quick.
Do you know in the centre of London there's about one toilet in about a 2-mile radius of Sloane Square, because apparently they've all been closed down because the druggies use them at all. But I think that's appalling for the tourist industry of London. I mean, poor unsuspecting tourists go out for a wander around, you know, and then the call of nature, as it does, inevitably comes. And what do? They are literally caught short, aren't they?
Well, you could nip into John Lewis or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, down the end.
Or Harrods. They don't charge anymore.
Oh, but you can't go in there if you've got shorts on, can you?
Not even if you bought them in the store.
They have some standards.
That's right. Thank God for that. Anyway, thanks a lot, Jethro. I've got to go. All right.
Bye.
Ta-ta.
I go to test drive the new Abbot.
We're arrived not a moment too soon.
When do we start?
Tonight.
Good. I'd like to get in, get on with it, get it over with, and get out. Get it?
Got it.
Good.
Oh, are we in yet? Just sorting out the papers. Ein Moment, bitte.
They're not so heavy tonight.
They are. There's a way of ton in here. Totally exhausted. Right. Where are we? So, everything's been going on with these then, eh? Let's start at the very beginning. It's a very good place to start with The Observer.
Boring!
I cooked some product this week, and it was awful. I tried...
Product?
Yeah, food. From scratch, like you should. And it was dreadful. Like, one thing after the other was a total and utter, complete disaster. And you know whose fault it is? Yours, Lucy.
Did you try a Jamie recipe?
No, I tried recipes what came out of The Observer.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
And they were rubbish.
Did you not follow them properly?
To the letter.
How did it go wrong?
I don't know, because no one can write recipes that a normal human being could produce a good quality product from.
Why is it this doesn't happen to me every time I follow a recipe, but every time you follow a recipe, it just goes to pot?
Well, this is ridiculous, and I
Apart
object.
from Delia.
Yeah, the blessed Delia.
For goodness sake.
Like, I'll boil an egg and make toast. Perfectly well. But anything further than that, and it's just rubbish. And it's your fault, Lucy.
Did you try and make something too complicated?
Well, obviously.
Well, what did you make?
Oh, it was so dreadful, I think I've tried to forget it.
Was it a main course?
Yeah.
Or dessert? Okay.
They
Meat?
were, a pumpkin fowl.
Right.
Which actually wasn't that bad. It was a bit stodgy and gooey and heavy. You could have used it as like paving slab. A mushroom and pumpkin kind of crispy fried affair, which was absolutely... Not even people in Ethiopia would have turned their noses up at that.
Right, so it was a bit of a pumpkin affair, was it, going on?
Well, you buy a pumpkin, what are you going to do with it?
Well, maybe you don't like pumpkin very much.
No, it wasn't there. There's nothing wrong with pumpkin. It was just that these recipes in this magazine, which you'd recommended, were rubbish, Lucy. Anyway, that's the... all right, what is on the front page? I bet it's a dull... NHS must pay for fat children to get surgery. Stomach stapling for most obese. Katie Holmes told her daughter Zuri as she looks out of the 15th... wedding will not be recognised by the Catholic Church.
No, they've got to have another one, haven't they? That's only, their Scientology bit.
They're not going to have another one.
They're having another... I think that's not official. So they've got to have another one back in the States.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm almost certain.
That's not sure then, is it?
Well,
You're
I'm sort
making
of
99.9. It's
99.9.
wildly guessing.
No, I'm certain, but then you put the element of doubt in my head.
See? If you were certain, then that would have just bounced off you. But it didn't. So you're not.
I think I am. But I don't want to look foolish.
The Telegraph. MPs... right. MPs pressed police for tougher line on cash for honours. This whole cash for honours thing, that's really going to get a scalp, isn't it?
No!
No one we've ever heard of will be accused and tried and committed for anything to do with this cash for honours. Let's be quite clear about that. No one you've ever heard of will get it in the neck over this. No one. Someone that you haven't heard of, some kind of low-ranking civil servant or somebody that's in the department of whatever, they will get accused, and the book will get thrown at them. Someone that to this point, whose name you've never heard. That's what's going to happen. No one that you've heard of is going to get is going to do prison time or be accused in any way about any of this.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
You've said it first.
Yes.
Again.
Police give teenage tearaways lessons in handling the media. What? Police give teenage tearaways lessons in handling the media. Teenage criminals are receiving media training, costing £40 an hour in a police campaign to improve the public's perception of young people. Not just teenagers, teenage criminals. About 25 serial and former offenders aged 13 to 17 sit with law-abiding teenagers on the 100-strong Essex Police Force Youth Forum, which advises officers on how to tackle youth offending. Yes, by beating them to the ground with your truncheons and then zapping them with your tasers. That's how you would deal with it, isn't it, Lucy?
Is that how you'd like it to be dealt with?
I think that's how the nation would, as opposed to just ignoring it, or asking them politely if they wouldn't mind not stabbing someone again as they release them back into the community. People are outraged about this issue, aren't you? Don't you read the papers? Yeah. And it's not just Sun columnists either. I think it's everyone. You know, because I mean, how many times have you read something where I read it today? Someone had a bunch of youths who were throwing bricks through his windows and eggs at his house and ripping up his fence and just generally making his life a nightmare. A living hell. And so he went outside and he filmed them with his little video camera, and they punched him in the face and knocked him to the ground, and the police were like, well, there's nothing we can do, really. It's like that kind of attitude all the time. We live in an insane country, Lucy. We do. Everything has gone completely mad here. Yep. Or a woman will go outside after some moron has thrown a brick through a window and showered a baby with glass, and she'll swear at them to bleep off, and the police will come and arrest her for swearing at them. You read stuff like that every day, and you think, what is going on here? How many laws do they need to pass in order to actually deal with this? That's what you think. But now they're giving teenage criminals lessons in how to improve the public's perception of young people on our money. OK, good. Sunday Express, free CD inside. Oh no, it's the first of the year. Right to the Times. It's the first Christmas Carols CD of the year. Free inside the Sunday Express. Who the hell wants that now? I mean, seriously, it's bad enough when you hear it in the shops. The Christmas Carols, Volume 1. Silent Night, Good King Wenceslas, The First Noel, Oh Come All Ye Faithful, and on and on it goes. There's a thing that I heard for the first time on Christmas Day, and it was that sort of magical choir thing that they have early on Christmas Day from King's College. You know that? King's College Choir?
Oh, yes, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it was Oh Little Lamb. Do you know that song?
Oh Little Town?
No, Oh Little Lamb.
No.
It was riveting. One of the best things I've ever heard in my life. Yes, and it just wrenched the emotion right out of you. We should get that and play it. Okay. I'm going to be on Christmas Day here.
Are you?
Yes, aren't you?
No. I'm not.
For an hour on Christmas Day.
You're doing an hour?
Well, it'll be this time of night, from 10 at night till 1 in the morning, starting on Christmas Eve into Christmas Day. They haven't told you about that. Surprise!
I don't think I'm doing that one.
Oh, Lucy!
I know. Well, my best friend has his birthday on Christmas Day.
Yeah? What's that got to do with anything?
Well, anyway, he does.
Here's the Sunday Times. Former Russian spy poisoned in London plot. Scotland Yard is investigating a suspected plot to assassinate a former Russian spy in Britain by poisoning him with thallium. He's fighting for his life in a London hospital. of this tasteless poison. They're killing people over here. Police Chief sparks row. Nothing really on the front page of the Times. We're going to get through these quite quickly. The Mail. What are they upset about? KGB tried to poison man in sushi bar. Scotland Yard was last night investigating the attempted murder of a top Russian defector poisoned by political enemies in London. Russia wouldn't do that, would they? Can you imagine?
Kind of Katie Holmes stuff and Big Brother, and I don't mean Big Brother, I'm a Celebrity.
Precious little of that.
I thought that would be everywhere on the Sundays.
Yeah, actually that's right. Where are they all?
And even wasn't it the dancing thing and everything last night?
What dancing thing?
You know that dancing programme that's on? Strictly Come Dancing or whatever.
No, there I will not go.
Yeah, I don't watch it.
Strictly Come Dancing?
Yeah. A celeb dancing, you know. A bit more celeb stuff.
Is that connected in any way?
Because there's not much on, is
so
there?
their celebrity hairdressing thing that they've got on the BBC. I haven't seen that, but just the thought of it, I just cannot believe it.
After we heard someone talk about it last week, I had a quick flick.
Celebrity hairdressing. I mean, have you ever heard of anything like that? I mean, that's just incredible, isn't it? That would leave you speechless. I mean, that would be something that you'd see on Living TV or one of those silly channels up the dial.
I think there's nothing that won't be done now, is there?
It's on the BBC.
Stuff.
Celebrity hairdressing.
The idea was that was for children in need. I think that was the build-up for that.
Now, there can be no excuse. And so, which celebrities have they got on there? Anyone we've heard of?
No! No, I didn't watch it for very long. It wasn't really... It was just boring.
Right, that's the Mail. I don't think we did much of the Mail. The Independent. There's a picture of James Bond almost totally nude. Free Bond magazine. The stars, the cars, the hunking trucks, and on and on and on that goes. But the big word on the front page of the Independent, who are going their own way as usual, cocaine, it says, in huge high letters. Special Sunday investigation revealed UK's staggering £57 million a week drugs habit spirals out of control. And the number of young people using the drug doubles in 7 years. Shocking picture of cocaine addiction in Britain will be revealed this week in a new international report on drug abuse. Britons consume more cocaine than people in almost every other country in Europe, and the report on drug use in 29 countries released this Thursday will show. Isn't that interesting? Why? What is it about us that we're just so obsessed with getting out of our minds? We drink more than anyone else, we take more coke than anyone else, we smoke more dope than anyone else, we take more E than anyone else. I mean, there's no category of things with which to leave reality that we're second to as far as consumption per head goes. We bow to no one in our desire to leave the confines of reality as quickly as possible. Why? What is it about us? Is it the weather? Is it just the nature of the Anglo-Saxon mind?
I don't know.
Is it because we just feel that we're doomed?
But would we not see people around town looking a lot more out of it, like everyday people?
Have you been to the West End?
No, but I mean, sort of like, you know, because this must affect workers and everyday people and...
Well, the big lie, of course, the reason why nobody listens to what the government says about drugs is, the lie that they continue to perpetuate and and children ignore, almost 100%, well, it doesn't matter what the government's message on drugs is, because we know that they're lying, from word one is, if you take drugs one day, that very afternoon you'll be shivering in an alleyway having lost your job and your family and your car and everything that you've ever owned, and you'll be injecting heroin in your eyeballs. That's the basic message, and everyone knows that that's not true. Because people do, as some bloke called last week and has said, they do take drugs as part of their ordinary life, and then, you know, and they'll get it out at dinner parties. Yeah. And, you know, lose a weekend. What was that? Small personal explosion?
Stomach gurgling.
Right.
Pardon me.
It sounded like a cement lorry turning over. And then they'll go back on Monday to, you know, their job at the bar, or their job as a consultant, or they'll go back to representing their constituencies, or whatever it is that they do for a living. Anyway, shocking picture of cocaine addiction in Britain. Evidence from UK officials, which has been given to European Union experts compiling the report, shows that the use of cocaine has risen more than any other drug. The most recent statistic shows that its use has more than doubled among 16 to 24-year-olds over 7 years. Well, that could quite possibly be because they've stopped taking E in such great numbers. Because that used to be the drug of choice.
It was really trendy, wasn't it?
Well, you wouldn't set foot inside a club without taking it. Or rather, you'd go in the club and then you'd buy it while you were in there. That's what kids used to do, I read. And so they're not doing that anymore in any great numbers because the dance scene has moved on. Now it's all rock and roll. No one's listening to that anymore. And so I'm sure that's the reason why. It's not that more people are taking it than ever before, it's just that they've switched.
Maybe, I don't know.
By this time next year, they'll be just enjoying a biscuit and a nice cup of tea.
Let's hope so. They'll be a lot calmer.
Quite possibly, yes. And they'll talk less rubbish at parties. But isn't it weird that Amsterdam, for instance, keep going back to this, I don't know what the rest of Holland is like, I've not been there, but you go to Amsterdam and, you know, they're advertising it, they are, not cocaine, rightly enough, but I'm sure it's more available there than it is here, as is, well, marijuana certainly is. And it's not considered the done thing in Holland to get stoned off your face and reel around the street, which is why the only people you see doing that are British tourists.
Yeah.
So it's acceptable to sell it there, and fewer people do it. Here, it's not acceptable, it's against the law, and people are doing it like it's life itself.
Except, though, that since we've changed our drinking habits and you can drink all night, it hasn't really stopped people getting out of their heads. We still seem to have a culture of getting really, really drunk as quickly as we can before 11 o'clock.
Yeah, but crucially what didn't happen was that the Earth didn't end when the 24-hour drinking came in, because all these naysayers were saying, the naysayers, nay, they said over and over again, you can't do that because people just won't know when to stop. But nothing like that happened. In fact, I think the situation actually got better because not everyone wasn't getting chucked out all at once.
Yeah, except that not that many bars and pubs that I've seen around seem to stay open that late anyway.
No, quite right.
It's only going to be the main ones in town or whatever, so...
But it didn't actually cause this mayhem that they thought it would, is that things are actually slightly better.
Yeah.
So, you know what? What that suggests is that if you give people more choice, if you stop wagging your finger in their face and telling them no all the time, like we're all tiny little babies, then people will actually choose to live their lives in a more socially responsible way.
Yeah, but it never seems very relaxed over here, does it, drinking in pubs? I mean, even the culture in France, when you go there and you sit down and have a drink, you're given some nuts or whatever, someone takes your order and gives you your drinks, and you don't have to pay until the end of the evening, and you're trusted to do that. And so no one seems to be sort of, I don't know, not out to sort of batter themselves and ruin their evenings. They're sitting there to enjoy the ambience and to have a chat. And
well, you're talking about two completely different things. You're talking about a cafe where you sit down and have a chat.
Actually in their sort of bars there too. People are it's still very civilised.
Well, you don't run a tab in a bar. How could anybody remember?
In a bar here?
Well, anywhere.
You could leave, you leave your card, don't you now? Well, they do, they just keep a tab of it, don't they?
I don't know. I think your story's beginning to fall apart. No, what do you think, Alex? Totally making it up, she is.
I have to kind of agree with her, because they do the same in the States.
What, you keep a tab?
Yeah. You have a nice waitress come over and serve you some light beers.
Right, well, like I said, it's completely different. You're not comparing like with like. Here, it's a stand-up pub. In America, if you went to a stand-up pub, you'd be paying by the drink, and you'd be expected to tip a significant amount.
I've been to where it's been both in the States.
Right.
So I lived there for about 4 years, but like you say, most of the bars and pubs there close at 2, so you just fall out of it when you've had enough drink. No one they don't pile out at 2 o'clock in the morning and start beating each other up.
Yeah, they just get straight into their cars and drive away. Yeah, that's right.
Serious lamppost.
Right, we better go away to come back.
Nick Abbott.
Where the f*** you been? I've been calling you all f***ing night long.
Now, I hesitate to play that, but after that trail for Steve Allen, well, anything goes. A glimpse of stocking used to be thought of as shocking. Now, heaven knows. Right, the news of the world. Sind of music. Maria Starr, 2 times hero lover with stagehand, with pictures. New Sound of Music star Connie Fisher is cheating on her brave soldier lover. In the week, the 23-year-old reality TV winner scored rave reviews for a West End debut. Can you believe that? She got the entire TV thing, which was on the BBC, which was basically an advert for this show, actually came out, produced a woman who's a real genuine star. Shocking. She's been discovered in a string of passionate clinches with stagehand Lee. Repeatedly, the pair snogged and groped behind the back of trusting signalman Neil Williams, who served under fire in Iraq, one of our boys. A witness said they were like a couple in love, hands everywhere. And on and on and on it goes, and you don't know whether it's true or not, but I'll just print it anyway. Anything else? Bumstucker trial. Jason Donovan's Bush Tucker trial hit a bum note when a cockroach wriggled up where the jungle sun don't shine, Lucy. The wayward creepy crawly had to be carefully removed with a pair of tweezers by a doctor. And the cracks will show in the rest of the group tomorrow when the camp is split in 2. This is another reason why you're so thrilled. Ooh, she just went. This is another reason why you shouldn't ever watch these shows, because anything they do will be flagged up ahead of time in the papers. There's a picture of Jason Donovan trying to retrieve said cockroach.
Really?
From in the confines of his...
poor Jason. He was very good in the trial tonight. I saw a quick glimpse of it before the show.
The cheeky bug crawled into his pants during a stomach-churning trial and seemed reluctant to face the outside world again. Jason's ordeal was finally ended by vigilant male medic Dr. Bob. Telly Insider revealed Jason was showered with cockroaches and they were crawling over his entire body. One got inside his pants, but he didn't realise until he got back to the camp. And he was squirming like a snake. He had his hand down his pants for ages before the producers sent in a doctor to remove the cockroach. And there's a picture of him trying to do just that with the rest of the cast, looking and laughing at him. Laughing at him they were, Lucy.
Doesn't it make you want to watch it?
No. The Peephole. Jungle rat tore my family apart. Now that the X Factor has, I suppose it's got as many viewers as it's going to, and it's got into its final stages, so they don't need to drum up an audience anymore, because who's going to jump in halfway through, right?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
So now the same people that are advertising the X Factor, the PR for the X Factor, are now all over this jungle rat show. What's it called?
I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
Yeah. And it's just every single... The Tom Cruise thing just barely even registers. It's all about various different stories.
I mean, their wedding isn't terribly interesting, is it?
Oh, I don't know, a Scientology wedding.
Well, yeah. It's a bit strange.
Well, yeah, I mean, what do you want from your celeb stories other than strange? It doesn't get better than strange, surely.
Well... He's been married a couple of times already. It hasn't worked out. Well, this one.
Yeah, I wonder why. Such a shame when things like that don't work out, isn't it, Lucy?
Yeah, it is a shame. Yeah.
I'm a Celebrity star, Melandra Burrows. Who's that? The celebrity Melandra Burrows.
Oh, is she the new one?
I'm not even kidding. I'm not kidding about this. I'm not sort of exaggerating to make a point. I have never heard of this celebrity. Who is she?
No, I haven't either. I think this is it the new one from Corrie or Emmerdale who's about to go?
Who has any idea? Melandra Burrows. I mean, that's a name that you would remember, right? Melandra. Yeah. Melandra.
Does it say who she is?
Melandra, who arrived in the jungle camp last night, romped with Emmerdale colleague Ian Sharrock. Never heard of him either.
Yeah, she's the new one. I don't know who he is either.
I do feel like my dad sometimes. I've actually become my father. Pretty soon I'll be calling this the wireless. I'll be calling television the wireless as well. Everything that's got electric going through it is the wireless, according to my dad. But he doesn't know who anybody is either. All modern music has been recorded by the Beatles. That's the only one he knows. And all these celebrities that populate the pages of these tabs, I've got no idea who they are.
All you want to do is watch the programme, and all will become clear.
All right.
Go on, give it a go.
I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
Is it on every day?
Yeah.
For how long?
I think it's 3 weeks, so you've already missed a
Right.
week.
Oh, okay. I think I can manage
only got
that.
2 to go.
As long as it's not the entire winter.
No. And if you record it on that special
Yeah.
way...
What, Sky Plus?
Yeah. I don't use that, though. I use another one. Then you can rewind it and stuff and forward through the ads.
You were trying to get
Yes.
get out on time and your brain stopped.
Available on DAB Digital Radio.
6 celebs go walkabout in the Star. Last 2 papers. I'm a Celeb Stars are in for a huge shock tomorrow when... I better not say, because you might want to know.
Might spoil it.
Yeah.
I'll have to have a look now after the show if you don't tell me.
Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes tied the knot in an Italian castle yesterday, which wasn't a particularly nice-looking castle, really, was it? I mean, if you had all the money in the world, then you'd want something a bit more fairy tale than that, am I right?
Would you?
Yes.
Oh.
What do you mean,
Okay.
would you? It was an ugly lump of a building.
But didn't he used to go there regularly for dinner with Katie?
What,
every
in the
now and again?
castle?
Yeah, apparently.
Why would he do that?
Well, I don't know. Because he's got loads of money and he can go wherever he likes, whenever he likes.
What, he says he fancies the Italian?
Yeah. Let's
And
pop
they-
over.
They actually went to Italy.
That's like Superman, isn't it?
David and Victoria Beckham celebrated with the couple at the pre-wedding party in Rome that went on until 2 a.m. on the big day. Oh, big deal. I bet no one that you've ever heard of was there after 12. I betcha. Because they all turned into pumpkins after 12 o'clock because they need to go home and sip mineral water and, have their lobes massaged.
Where are their children? Maybe they had to get back for them. There never seems to be a mention of that.
A source said David was whispering in Tom's ear, wishing him all the best and giving him tips. Oh, David Beckham. Is he allowed to approach Tom? They were like brothers, and Bex was having a great time. Victoria stayed with her sister Louise for the £1.5 million wedding at 15th Century Castle. 250 guests. The Church of Scientology service. I think throughout they call him a man.
Right.
And they call her a girl. It's a Scientological thing.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And it rained a bit, and then it dried out, and
Everyone's
a really
happy.
low-key time was had by all. I don't know, a celebrity do like that doesn't sound like any fun at all, does it? No, I mean, nobody would actually go mad and
It wouldn't be
embarrass
very
themselves,
relaxed,
would they?
would
No.
it? No. It would just be a bit upped. I don't know. Yeah.
Because if you're that famous, if you're like a real celebrity, then you can't bowl out of a function with your clothes askew, can you? You can only do that if you're royalty.
Calling the waiter over, I'd like another glass of champagne.
Yes. No, I'm sure that they have people to advise them to rush in case they have, more than
they have
a
wonderful
glass and a
food, though.
half.
Wouldn't you like to have
Food?
some of that?
No famous people eat. What are you joking?
I know, but that's why I'd like to go to these bashes.
Oh.
I could stuff my face.
Here is Jan, or Jan rather, in Teddington.
Hello, Nick.
How are you?
Bearing up, please. I'm still agonising over this number plate business. Surely it's occurred to you that there must be any number of owners of 2B. It just depends on how you arrange things. I mean, you could have spent zillions of pounds buying TO followed by BE. And next day somebody in a Mini pulls up beside you with TO 80 and they've made the 8 look like a B.
No, I'm saying it was the number 2 with a B after it.
Yes, well, there are variations over this. There could be the actual letters, TO followed by 8E.
No, there aren't any variations. It was the number 2 followed by a B. 2B, it said.
Yes, but surely it would actually look more correct to have TO followed by BE, 2B, the words.
Well, it may be correct, but it's not a legal plate.
Well, it is, because you're right, it is illegal. But I've seen 8s made to look like Bs before.
Right.
And it must be enormously galling if you've paid £1 billion for, the number 2 followed by B, to have someone with actually 2B on a Mini pull up beside you.
No, I wouldn't think so, because I'd rather have...
You take the hell out of me, I can tell you.
Nah. 2B, that looks like something that costs more than the car that it sits on.
So it's a posh Mini.
Huh?
I said, so it's a posh Mini.
It's a posh Mini.
Yeah, with the TO8E on it. Oh, never mind. Anyway, it just struck me as being blindingly obvious, but clearly it's irrelevant.
Okay, well...
I apologise for wasting everybody's time.
Thanks for letting me know, Jan.
Indeed.
All right, ta-ra. Here is Aid, who can get laid.
Hello, Nick. How you doing?
I am all right, mate.
Yeah, a bit of a difference this week. I'm actually on the location this week.
Oh, yes.
I'm outside in a dodgy nightclub.
Don't go in.
I've already been in, but I've come out to make the call to you.
That good, was it?
Yeah, well, there's still some friends in there, but I mean, they're playing like Boy George and Wham.
Oh. Where are you?
Burton-on-Trent.
Burton-on-Trent.
But sort of the village people come on, and yeah, that was it.
I can't believe there are still organisations, there's still establishments that play that stuff. That's like at least 20 years after they should have put those records away forever.
Yeah, it must be like easy. I mean, this like, I only did this once in a very short while, when it but, every time you go, it's the same thing.
Which is why I don't go anymore. I mean, I can remember that I used to have to go to a club 3 times a week in my pluky youth, otherwise I didn't feel like, life was worth living. Otherwise I felt that I was constantly missing stuff. Mostly,
Beer?
No. Not beer, no. You can get beer anywhere, Lucy. No, and then it's like twice a week, and then once a week, and then I sort of stopped completely until someone came along and said, "Oh, there's this club run by Danny Rampling, who was the greatest club DJ I've ever heard." And it was the Pure thing in, where the Astoria is? It's about to be changed into Flatlets.
No idea.
Not you, Aid. I know you don't know. Lucy,
I don't know. Nothing. I know
the
nothing.
Astoria on Charing Cross Road. There used to be this tiny little tiled place called the Milk Bar. Pure. It was in there. Danny Rampling. And after I'd stopped going to clubs completely, this bloke said, "Oh, you've got to come to this place." And it was mad on a stick.
Really?
And then me and all my mates, we went there for about the following 2 or 3 years. And then after that, I just thought, I don't want to do this anymore. I mean, from it being the driving force behind your life, the most important night of your week, to just never wanting to go again. And it's not like a barrier you go past in your life. It just, the desire just sort of drifts away.
So when did you sort of lose that desire then, Nick? What sort of age was you?
30, just past 30, I reckon.
Yeah, that's exactly what I am now. I'm like 32, and, it's just, once in a while it's okay, but it's a bit dull, to be honest. I'm looking forward to the curry later.
Yeah, it does get a bit, because it used to be, I think, the possibility of sexual interface used to be the thing that, mostly drove you to go. But the whole thing used to be, a tremendous excitement. But now I just can't be bothered. I'd rather not. I'd rather watch TV. Isn't that pathetic? I would. I'd rather sit and stare out the window. I'll sit in the corner of my flat with the heating off and all the lights switched out with a bag over my head. Would you like me to do that, Lucy?
No, not the bag, no. That's not nice. I agree, though. I just can't cope with the noise anymore, because I just want to go and talk to my friends, and if I can't hear them talk, then it just seems pointless. And then I'm just grumpy about it. And
because if you're there with more than one person, you can't have a conversation with more than one person. You have to shout in their ear.
Yeah, that's right.
Which means that you have to repeat the conversation to the other person that you're standing there with, who's looking at you like, what did you say? And so you have to say everything twice, and it's, forget it.
And it's like sign language, and, pointing and stuff, and I just don't get it. I can't understand it. I just give up, sit to the corner.
Yeah, the desire will go after, in a very short period, Adrian, and you'll never see the inside, you'll never hear YMCA again.
Oh, is that a bad thing?
You'll be pleased
I don't think so.
for the rest of your life.
Oh, yeah, it's, you feel the cold as well when you're old.
You feel the cold? Yeah, you do. Well, not in a club, surely.
But you do outside, it's actually very
freezing.
cold.
Yeah, you better get back in there, all right.
Oh, it's going to cost me another £3 to get in. I can't be bothered.
Well, you never know. You might pick up. There's always at the end of the evening. You might pick up some dregs.
Or a disease or something.
Yes, the two often go hand in hand. Best of luck, Aid.
Okay, speak to you soon.
Ta-ta.
Bye.
Hey, Lucy, are you dancing?
Are you asking? Oh, have I got it wrong again? Oh.
Are you dancing?
I'm dancing. Oh, no.
Are you dancing?
Yes, I'm dancing. No, I can't remember it. Is it not? Are you asking?
Hey, Lucy.
Yeah.
Are you dancing?
Are you asking?
Close.
Oh, no. Give me a clue.
Who's asking?
Oh.
Hey, Luce. Are you dancing? Look at excitement on your face. She's nodding and she's sitting up straight and almost like in class in geography where she's got her hand in the air. She's going, oh, me, I know. Hey, Lucy.
Yes, no.
Are you dancing?
Who's asking?
I'm asking.
Are you dancing?
Oh, no!
I'm never gonna... I need to write it out.
You are a failure.
Absolutely.
Hey, Lucy. Oh,
Nick.
forget it.
Oh,
What's
I've written it
the
down
point?
now.
Did you see this? Shocked viewers blasted ITV last night for screening. You know what? The Mr. Murdoch, that nice Mr. Murdoch, he's bought a giant stake in ITV in order to thwart Richard Branson's plans. And there was a picture of Branson looking furious in the paper.
Menacing.
Not furious about that, because I'm sure they didn't have a contemporaneous picture. Oh, write that down. I can't believe I came out with that word. That's ridiculous. Who uses that in conversation?
Nobody.
Get the taser out, Luce. I've lost control. Yes, but he was going to, him and NTL, they were going to stage a coup for ITV. Coup! Well, somebody needs to do something, don't they? Really? When was the last time you watched anything on ITV? Oh, that celebrity thing, right?
Yeah.
Anything with celebrities on the front. Mind you, the BBC were even worse. I mean, not even ITV would put on celebrity hairdressing.
No.
I mean, that's just beyond parody, isn't it, really? That's just ridiculous. Who are those celebrities, by the way? Anyone we've heard of?
No, there really aren't.
Well, there must be someone.
I hadn't heard of
like an
any
ex-soap star of some kind. Can you even name a programme that one of them have been on?
No.
Celebrity hairdressing.
No
At
idea.
what point of your career would you have to be in order to accept celebrity hairdressing?
Dear. The thing is I can't even imagine a viewer who'd be interested unless they were interested in haircutting.
What?
Because it's all about a salon and literally watching people do haircuts.
Is that all they do?
And then
just cutting hair?
And the chap comes up and says, "Oh, you haven't quite got the shape right there, and you need to go back and do that bit again."
But that's boring while it's being done to you.
Yeah. And then, occasionally they kind of paint their nails and, tint their eyelashes and stuff like that.
Tint their eyelashes?
Well, little beauty stuff.
Tint their eyelashes?
Yeah, people get their eyelashes tinted.
Tinted?
Yeah, because it saves you taking your eye makeup off at night and saves you putting
Oh, I know, I hate that.
Yeah, it's a nightmare, especially when it runs down your face.
Their eyelashes tinted?
Lots of people do that, especially women who have fairer eyelashes. It's quite good then, because it saves them doing it. You're looking at me.
Well, I've never heard of such a thing.
Haven't you? All these beauty products. It's great.
It's not great. They're tying you down. They are. I mean, men don't go through any of this
well, I don't
nonsense.
do it. But
I
lots
know,
of people
well,
do.
we've been meaning to speak to you about that.
I could have made the effort.
I mean, I know it's only radio, but
Well, I'm married now. I thought I didn't have to try anymore.
Anyway, this is on ITV. Shocked viewers blasted ITV for screening pensioners simulating sex live on daytime telly.
Was this on This Morning?
Apparently so, yeah.
No.
Sprightly Brian, 65, and wife Trish, 63, went through a variety of positions on This Morning. Really slowly, I bet. Hosts Philip Schofield. He's like completely silver now, that guy.
He is.
You'd have thought that someone in the business of show...
There's no business like show business, like no business I know.
Everything about it is appealing, apart from all of the parts that suck.
He's still handsome, though, isn't he, with his grey hair, I think?
What, in a sort of a mousy, rat-like way? Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't think so. But he went through that funny phase of dyeing it, do you remember? And it didn't look so hot, really. So it looks better that he's naturally grey.
Right, it's got this sort of Richard Gere thing going on.
Yeah,
without the masculinity.
Oh, poor Philip.
Oh, poor little Pippi.
Oh, he's great.
Is he?
I think so. I think he's lovely.
Lovely?
Yeah.
I'm sure that's not what a man would like to be known. Lovely. Like a little pet poodle.
He always strikes me that he'd be a lovely husband. Very caring. No?
Is that what you want?
Well...
I thought that you wanted to be, you know, you wanted some sort of,
hunk.
Yeah, like a rugby player type to breeze in on his stallion and whisk you off your feet and charge away into the sunset. Bonk you on the head with his Neanderthal club and drag you by the hair off into his lair.
Yeah, that sounds really romantic. No, I'll settle for Philip instead.
Right. Because the papers are always full of women, like this one. Hang on a minute.
I'll tell you who else is really nice, I think, as well, is David Gower. I think he'd make a lovely husband, too.
This is David Gower.
Yeah.
This is kind of what I was trying to express, but this is in the Sunday Mirror. It's something of a miracle that Sarah Maskell is alive today. The rusty metal spike she fell on missed her heart by less than a centimetre. She should have been dead. In fact, she died twice as medics fought to save her life. Sarah plunged 25 feet onto the spike from a holiday apartment balcony in Crete, pushed off by her boyfriend, police say. The headline is, "He beat me, and he's on trial for trying to murder me, but I still love him today." Now that's the...
what can you say to that? I mean,
that's an extreme example of what I was trying to say. Is I thought that, you know, bad boys are what... isn't that right?
Well,
I mean, you don't want Pippi Schofield, you want Gaza.
No, but in reality, you want somebody reliable and dependable.
Right.
You don't want...
boring.
Some hooligan who's going to push you out of a window
but I think
until you nearly die.
But the papers are full of women who are obsessed with men who want to and actually go to the extent of trying to kill them, and they can't leave them because it's, I don't know, exciting or what is it?
Maybe, but then, you know, these women must be disillusioned.
Loons.
Yeah. Why would you do that? Why would you put yourself through that? Why don't you just make your life a little bit easier and find someone who you're more compatible with?
Well, I guess because deep down we're actually just the same as we were when we lived in caves. When you would want, when the man that was you know, ruling the roost, in charge of the herd or whatever it was we used to call ourselves, would be the most violent and aggressive, and you know he'd be the guy who would protect you physically. Now, of course, in our society, you don't need physical protection mostly. The protection comes with wealth.
Yeah.
But, as I say, we haven't moved on much physically and mentally from when we used to, you know, go ugh at each other. In fact, some still do.
So it's just about the provider.
Yeah, and so that desire to go after the Neanderthal type, I'm sure, is still there.
But then again, women can be much more in control these days, so you don't necessarily need a man who's a thug, do you?
No, you go for Pippi.
Yeah.
Who is doing something he shouldn't have oughta. Hosts Philip Schofield and Ruth Langsford fought back hysterics as the couple in pyjamas, 63 and 65-year-old pensioners, simulating sex on daytime TV, in pyjamas, demonstrated techniques on a bed. What the hell were they doing on this show?
I'm glad they were in pyjamas anyway.
Pyjamas. Sexpert Donna suggested ways they would be comfortable despite various ailments. Brian even boasted that he and Trish made love, guess how many times a week? That's right, 6.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want to know.
6 times a week? No one does that.
That's obviously like when you go to the doctor and they say, how much do you drink, and you double it.
Yeah.
Maybe in this...
Exactly.
You divide
6
it.
times a year.
Yeah.
If that. Both ITV and The Sun were bombarded with complaints. Why do people complain to The Sun? It's got nothing to do with them. They weren't involved. And people who read The Sun were offended that people were simulating sex on television. I mean, The Sun's is nothing but sex.
It's bizarre.
It's because they were old, probably. And we don't like to think of old people as being sexual individuals. Just like we don't like thinking of disabled people as being sexual individuals. We just can't stomach it as a society, just like we don't like thinking of fat people as being sexual individuals. Everyone has to be Kate and...
Tom. But maybe a taller Tom.
I wasn't thinking of that Kate. I was thinking
which
of our
Kate?
own,
Katie Price?
Cocaine Kate.
Oh,
And
another
her
Katie.
dumpy, feckless boyfriend. Is he still alive?
Pete.
Yeah.
Well, he's not dumpy, is he?
He is. He's kind of like puffy.
Oh, but he's sort of like a bit skinny and...
But puffy.
sort of, well...
A little bit puffy.
Just a bit unwell.
Yeah, puffy. Regular viewer Deborah Stiles, 45, said, I was shocked. I know they were trying to make a serious point, but the scenes were pretty graphic for daytime. I bet she hasn't seen that video with the women sitting on the washing machine on spin. Their bits jiggling in 86 different directions at the same time. So they were demonstrating techniques on a bed. In their pyjamas, Lucy. And the shocking part of that story is that people still wear pyjamas? No one wears pyjamas anymore, do they?
I do.
Do you?
Oh, I love pyjamas. I do, really.
Are they winceyette? I've got no idea what that means.
No, they're cotton.
What's winceyette?
The horrible material.
Is it?
Yeah.
Bry nylon?
Sort of, bit like that, I think.
Do they crackle when you move?
Well, I don't know, I don't wear them.
You don't wear them?
I wear normal pyjamas. Cotton
right.
pyjamas.
Cotton pyjamas.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't sleep properly if I don't wear clothes in bed.
That's a crazy thing to say.
Well, I know, but for some reason I just can't get comfortable.
What, in case you had to get up in the middle of the night and attack a rat?
I guess so. Well,
Because you wouldn't want to do it in the naughty naked nude.
Well, we have got a mouse, apparently, so...
Oh, right.
I don't want to run downstairs. I've actually trained myself not to go downstairs now that we've got a bathroom that's on the ground floor.
So your entire house is upside down.
Yeah.
All your life is in a box. You've moved next door to a football club on one side. You've got a kebab shop on the other. You've got a prostitute across the road. And your entire house is full of vermin.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying the new house so far?
I hate it! It's great.
Here's one in Kennington. Hello, Nana.
Hello?
Nana.
Yep.
Is your name Nana?
Yep.
Okay.
Why did it take that long?
Pardon?
Why did it take you that long then?
Say it again?
Why did it take you that long to answer it?
Why did I take
Too long to answer it.
too long?
Yep.
Oh, it's a complaint. I'll put you through to our complaints department. Can you reroute this call, Luce? So where was I? Oh, yeah, Christmas stamps. I've got Christmas stamps from last year.
Have you?
And they're still... Well, I'm still putting them on envelopes. I was putting them on envelopes in June,
Have
which
you
was...
been weighing them?
No.
Oh.
weighing them?
Well, because they're supposed to change now, aren't they? You've got to make sure you haven't got too much in your envelope.
Right.
Envelope?
Nobody's paying attention to any of that, are they? The Church of England criticised the Royal Mail yesterday for issuing Christmas stamps without a Christian theme. Oh, come off it. What's Jesus got to do with Christmas? Hey, you know what?
What?
Iran is firing missiles in order to show the great Zionist forces of the whole world that they're still on top of things. They're about to get nuclear power. They're threatening America. Al-Qaeda is on the run. There's a giant hole in the sky, and we're going to get boiled alive by the sun if we don't get drowned by the rising sea first. And everything is doom and gloom and misery and despair, right?
Right.
Wrong.
Oh.
Blue sky thinking could earn the airlines some carbon coup. Here's how to save the world. What an excellent way to end the show, eh? And it's so fantastically simple, it almost is... You're speechless. You will be speechless.
Okay.
I can't wait till you're speechless, Lucy. You know the Stern report? This Stern report that came out that was wagging its finger in our face saying, don't do this and don't do that. Another one of those. That changed everybody's perception about the world that we live in, like, instantly, the very second it came out. No one had ever heard of this bloke before, but suddenly we're all believing him, and everything that we previously thought was rubbish, now we take to be incontrovertible truth. Stern's report reckons emissions from deforestation between 2008 and 2012 will produce more carbon dioxide than all the aviation emissions from the invention of the first flying machine until at least 2025. So in other words, we're cutting down the trees, and that's the problem. It's not the cars and the planes and all that. We're cutting down trees too fast.
Right.
So, if we buy the Amazon rainforest and stop them cutting down the trees, at prevailing prices, the rainforest is hypothetically valued at 50 billion, which is far less than the insurance industry paid out last year for hurricane-related losses. In other words, it's nothing at all. We could stop CO2 emissions from destroying us all. All we have to do is come up with 50 billion, which, if the UK spent 12 million to buy rainforest for preservation, we would meet our Kyoto reduction target for 12 million. If we just bought a bit of the Amazon, no one would have to give up their Range Rovers. Isn't that great?
On FM, on DAB, and on